The best you got is only going to a set investment. Get it speaking quick, we flow you out like a white basement. You know the seven, feel like I'm spreading the weight in my size. Head of a knock up that weight is 10. Can't let that come top of 7. I carry some loaded weapons. Only you've been ingesting. The one is made for the slaughter, the other is for deflecting attacks from the adversary. Crackers is very scary, so action is necessary. I keep them both for protection. A lot to y'all, direction among the bar. I'm steady on the one to the song. I suggest you be ready. Armor on like Ray John's armor song. Yahoo D, we rooted up, ready for war, so bring it on.
Yahoo D, we got a base standing on this cornerstone. Say that you buy it or not, it's up to you and your mama. What you do is not gonna stop. People speaking his or mine. Catch me at the center, got 3 times a week, twice on Shabbat.
Learning that we all are heathens, no chance of you catching up.
You not the weak, so don't try to attach us.
Shams you in my stand, I'll avenge your fire branches through.
Okay, go give me 50, double 90, twice before attacking. Hey, hey,
be ready. Be ready. I go full acapella. Kid for Yahoo, kid for Yahoo, let me go, Herbie Z. Kid for Yahoo, let me go, Herbie Z. Darren, they could keep Tabby Mo, please me the kid for Yahoo, let me go, Herbie Z. Darren, they could keep Tabby Mo, please me the. Hold on, hot double 1616. Yeah, that's for me. I saw Faku, then I keep do self-examine me. Absence of leave on the pool, sure because ain't gon' be slaving on nobody job during the move ID. My heart clear free, ain't got nothing on my chest. What up, Tori? Now it's time to get some rest. Look right and left, see the out of time express. Hey, look at Martinez and Ernie and Jeff got the bookers and the Mormons. I keep Damon and the Palmers. Ed Keys, I keep Meeks. Make sure Mike don't fall asleep. When the rock I start to speak, Mike Goldberg you for a seat. My people, we so unique. Let's enjoy this move ID. You feel me? Times in the year. Home does appear. It's a Malcolm obligation. Make your business to be here if you knew. We have the move ID. 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 3 times in the year. Home else appear. I got something in my pocket to give all of him his bill and my clips. We have the move ID. 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 Kid for Yahoo, let me go. Herbie Z, Darren and Mo, they could kick Tabby Mo, please me the kid for Yahoo, let me go. Herbie Z, Darren and Mo, they could kick Tabby Mo, please me the 911. Get this is it on the phone. Cut this IKEA in the zone. Made chicken and macaron. Why that line always so long? Grab dessert for all of it gone. How these kids eat like they grown? Next question, what about your own? I know, right on you on. That boy now chicken to the bone. It's the feast, ain't did nothing wrong. It's so good to see everybody home. Tonight I'ma leave early by the dawn. Ain't no fight, everybody get along. We just tryna see my lock on the throne. When the beats come around, please play the song. I'm gone. Kid for Yahoo, let me go. Herbie Z, Darren and Mo, they could kick Tabby Mo, please me the kid for Yahoo, let me go. Herbie Z, Darren and Mo, they could kick Tabby Mo, please me the 3 times in the year. Home else appear. It's a Malcolm obligation. Make your business to be here if you knew. We have the move ID. 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 3 times in the year. Home else appear. I got something in my pocket to give all of him his bill and my clips. We have the move ID. 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 Heard you knocking, and it's been number rocking. You search my enemy, exposing all my iris. You self-sufficient, show me that I'm not. Gave me your blueprint and it's on me not to drop it. Got contact info out there, please don't put me on your block list. Send me the chopper, prepare my soap on rock. In there where it's hot, yeah, it ain't no place for me. I told you, Yahoo deep on top, and that's the only way you say. Look at all you gave, cost the price you pay. Worthy that I glorify you while I'm in the state. There is no other name, no Rasa Shamaye. Capable of breaking drummers like the mighty all I hate. Times before, yeah, my life was void. Let me at Troy, you ran give me joy. All the times before, yeah, my life was void. Let me at Troy, you ran give me joy. You ran give me joy, give me joy. You ran give me joy. So keep calling on you more, and I hope you not annoyed. You ran give me joy. Purification through tribulation, I got no choice. Despite the storms and adversity, I still rejoice. Find joy in tough times, my chance to depend on you more. Acts 13 and 41, through each I hear your voice.
The only source guaranteed to flock your feed. If there's a shortage, rest assured the faults in me. Malak, not a key, created everything. Shopper, eat your me, not see what I believe. Offering up people, lift my hands over my shoulder. Grant me Mount Shalom, perilous times is almost over. The ball remove boulders and all the evil force. Now I've already told you, but y'all, you bringing me joy. Times are forward, yeah, my life was void. Let me hear Troy, you bringing me joy. All the times are forward, yeah, my life was void. Let me hear Troy, you bringing me joy. You bringing me joy. You bringing me joy. Should be calling on you more, and I hope you're not annoyed. You bringing me joy. You bringing me joy. You bringing me joy. Should be calling on you more, and I hope you're not annoyed. You bringing me joy. The challenge be to live right. Send to see the positive effect on my life. Whether depth or height, ain't running from the light. Striving lawfully and the bar be my delight. The challenge me to live right. I can see the positive effect on my life. Whether depth or height, ain't running from the light. Walking lawfully and the bar be my delight. You bringing me joy. You bringing me joy. Should be calling on you more, and I hope you're not annoyed. You bringing me joy. You bringing me joy. You bringing me joy. Should be calling on you more, and I hope you're not annoyed. You bringing me joy.
Living for Yah, living for Yah, living for Yah.
Yeah. So how you living?
Living for Yah.
And who you living for?
Living for Yah.
Say how you living?
Living for Yah.
And who you living for?
Living for Yah.
Every year I wake up, I give my palah to Mr. Yahuwah, because he all in all. Through Yahushua, the Ben that gave his life, the Lamb of Allahi, our time he sacrificed. Do we comprehend what has been freely given? I got a question for you, fam. How you living? I'ma give it my all. This is no kidding. Living for Yah, Mr. Kashama, you the limit. I was headed to the pit, my Kayi was through. Wild liquor top, but she had moved. Don't deserve it, so I'm giving up my life. Yeah, I'm all once. I don't think twice. What's better than living Kadash? Blend in with the ball like I'm clothed in camouflage. Yahushua from my head to my feet. So when the table spread, I'ma sit and feast. Mr. Cup, all shine on the register. Cause the bar is written on the lives. Now I know how to show how I really feel. Keep them all, that's my aha.
Living for Yah, living for Yah.
I'm living for Yah, hey, living for Yah.
Living for Yah.
Yeah. So how you living?
Living for Yah.
And who you living for?
Living for Yah.
Say how you living?
Living for Yah.
And who you living for? Yo, like laundry, y'all know we gotta separate. The bars are cleanse, a dabbering will agitate. It's without spot or wrinkle, make no mistake. No dirty nigga gonna be walking through these pearly gates. With the heat of the bar, get the wrinkles out. Clean the press, cause I'm headed to my Abba house. How I long for his breath, this is no doubt. F-Flavor and Yahudim, we rolling out. Tanakum, whose brother is Elohim. With hills and valley drink, do for Shamayim. The Malkuf gon' be looking like bling bling. With the dog getting lit off the party. Chillin' down by the heart to clear my yim. Plucking party from the Ots, Okayi. For Yahuwah, I gotta share Hashirim. Cause through the bin, I learn how to live clean. For his Baraka, no doubt, I'm gon' fight. Master Yahushua is how his the ball free me. He informed that his burdens are light, like being Mike in basketball. Too easy.
Living Kodash.
Hey, so I'm living for Yah, yeah. I'm living for Yah.
Living for Yah.
So how you living?
Living Kodash.
And who you living for?
Living for Yah.
Say how you living?
Living Kodash.
And who you living for?
Living for Yah. You know what it took to save us from sin. Yahuwah, he decided to give his only Ben. So I'm living Kodash, living for Yah, living Kodash for Yah. So I'm living Kodash,
Yah, living for Yah.
I'm living for Yah. Hey, living for Yah.
Living for Yah.
Yeah. So how you living?
Living cold.
And who you living for?
Living for Yah.
So how you living?
Living cold.
And who you living for?
Living cold. I'm living for Yah. Living cold. Hope you got the picture, man, I'm stepping out the frame. These sinners out here playing and they think this thing's a game. Dabble ream is real and it's running through my brain. Made a change in my life so that I can maintain. Hope you got the picture, man, I'm stepping out the frame. These sinners out here playing and they think this thing's a game. Dabble ream is real and it's running through my brain. Made a change in my life so that I can maintain. They say your AC, you went the same. In my life, I hit reset, the game changed. It seems strange, I don't run to the same excess. They must work for wrong solution, they a straight mess. I don't gotta flex, your hoosha is my strength now. I'm a lock and cold hind, he give me the crown. The life that I need, I'm treading water real hard. When they come in like a flood, he's my lifeguard. So I got the temple so that I can scope me out. Trying to get inside to see my jewels, then take me out. Getting trimmed by the dabbery so that I can spot the bee reap in the air, the yum that I hit that shot my life. Got a line by the dabbery that took the measure. I heard a sick man saying sin, he had no pleasure. Hair white like salt and his skin bright like pepper. Wanna be worthy, had his cold as treasure in my vessel. So it's set, now I gotta keep on pressing in. Keeping the Kagi in Shabbat, I be resting in. Check the menu, I am no longer serving sin. Shalom, Maki Chris, hopefully one day we'll meet again. In New Jerusalem with no hurt and no pain. Land us a geek where Yah and Yahusha reign. One-way ticket on this flight, I can't miss my plane. Adios for now, we're rich, I'm stepping out the frame. Hope you got the picture, man, I'm stepping out the frame. These sinners out here playing and they think this thing's a game. Dabble ream is real and it's running through my brain. Made a change in my life so that I can maintain. Hope you got the picture, man, I'm stepping out the frame. These sinners out here playing and they think this thing's a game. Dabble ream is real and it's running through my brain. Made a change in my life so that I can maintain. Who know the yum that he's coming back? Smitty got another order cause this thing's a rap. When he fold it like a garment, roll it like a scroll. On the skirt of Yahudi will I take hold? No Olympics, I'm going for Yahusha's gold. Tried in the fire so that I can be fully clothed. Catching the ruach so that I can be made whole. When Yahusha's coming back, man, nobody knows. So I can't be faulting, so let's change the way I'm talking. They think I roll with grips from the way they see me walking. Up the Ivory, so these sinners I'll be crossing. Over them they fall, but I'm still standing faultless. I know it makes me daunting, but he said his burden is light. Stepping out of darkness, now I'm walking in Yahusha light. Straight and narrow path, so I gotta keep it real tight. Prep for that yum, for the sinner, it is fright night. Eyes full of fire when he rise up from his throne. Touch him like Carrie, but it's their blood on his clothes. Where you gonna hide when no rocks falls and mountain stones? He purified his place so he can set up our eternal home. Now make up your mind since you know how the story goes. Better be with us when you see the story unfold. Ironed up my life by the Dabbery. Watch my soul presented Alamah for the marriage. He don't let him hold. Hope you got the picture, man, I'm stepping out the frame. These sinners out here playing and they think this thing's a game. Dabble ream is real and it's running through my brain. Made a change in my life so that I can maintain. Hope you got the picture, man, I'm stepping out the frame. These sinners out here playing and they think this thing's a game. Dabble ream is real and it's running through my brain. Made a change in my life so that I can maintain. Hope you got the picture, man, I'm stepping out the frame. These sinners out here playing and they think this thing's a game. Dabble ream is real and it's running through my brain. Made a change in my life so that I can maintain. Hope you got the picture, man, I'm stepping out the frame. These sinners out here playing and they think this thing's a game. Dabble ream is real and it's running through my brain. Made a change in my life so that I can maintain.
Do it one time.
Yah is great, so what they make me?
I'm a child of the Most High Yah.
Cause I am his, he lives in me.
I ain't done by far, but look.
Yah is great, so what they make me?
I'm a child of the Most High Yah.
Cause I am his, he lives in me.
I ain't done by far, but look.
Yah is great, so what they make me?
I'm a child of the Most High Yah.
Cause I am his, he lives in me.
I ain't done by far. Look, I know it might seem cocky, don't get it misconstrued. We the chosen of Yahuwah, just been chopped and screwed. These people played with us, these people told us lies, but now we hungry for the truth, so please don't be surprised. We coming for the pride, locked in with all our focus, searching the word for direction. Yahuwah left for the chosen. I can't walk with my own sight, my steps been ordered by the bar, and I'm on not see Yahusha. I know it take me far because
Yah is great, so what they make me?
Look, verse 2, we've been gone past curfew, taking captive, feeling forsaken the whole time you knew. This action shooting judges 14, y'all was seeking occasion to avenge at his hand the blood of those who've been taken. Don't lose your fight because it's been a while. Keep fighting, don't let the wicked make you sick but loud. Keep going, the salvation of Yahuwah is Yahusha. Turn to the east and see, come in the time that it get crucial. He knew to lead the steps and keys for you and me to go seek peace. So after things become more evil, you should be on bended knees. Cause the grass withers away and the leaves fall off trees. Just to show it now you're living. One day you have to leave, but until then, keep going. Keep fighting, I said, keep going. Keep fighting, I said, keep going. Keep fighting, I said, keep going. Keep fighting and know that God is great. So what that may be, I'm a child of the Most High Yah. Cause I am His, He lives in me. I ain't done by fuck, but look, God is great. So what that may be, I'm a child of the Most High Yah. Because I am His, He lives in me. I ain't done by fuck, but look, God is great. So what that may be, I'm a child of the Most High Yah. Cause I am His, He lives in me. I ain't done by far, but look. So what that may be, I'm a child of the Most High Yah. Because I am His, He lives in me. I ain't done by far.
Yeah, can't stop, won't stop till the day I see y'all. Granted, been planted, no more granted.
AC, baby.
Standing.
To my yin, girl, you looking at a one drop. With the heart that's gon' flow to the mountaintop. Cause I can't stop, won't stop, not till the day I see ya. I do for the life that was granted. He broke up this follow ground under boy the planet. I used to be a sinner, but I'm no longer branded. Cause I'm walking upright, you can see that I'm standing. You can tell by the way I walk, I ain't from around here. According to the Torah, so let me be clear. With Yahushua on my side, man, whom should I fear? Now I'm rocking with Yahuwah, he's the top tier. Homegirl, heck no, I ain't cutting my beard. No smooth face on, bitch, he shit. I ain't a queer, nah. Keep the beam, I hot what I saw. Now pay attention, I'm about to flip Murphy's Law. Now what came down must go up. And he walked on water, so you know it ain't luck. Planted in and out of my head was still by a rock. After 43 days, he was higher than the beanstalk. Cold ash call, so you know I'm compliant. I ain't jacking around, I won't be defiant. The seed is a rock, on that stock I'll be climbing. To dwell with all of him, I wanna walk with the giants. To my yin, girl, you looking at a one drop. With the heart that's gon' flow to the mountaintop. Cause I can't stop, won't stop, not till the day I see ya. I do for the life that was granted. He broke up this follow ground under bar of the planet. I used to be a sinner, but I'm no longer branded. Cause I'm walking upright, you can see that I'm standing. Yahushua upright like the palm tree.
Yeah, man.
Shit, but naked for all to see. So they went wagging their heads like I ain't trying to see. Just think that's what come should've didn't but a sheep.
Listen here,
How could he? When you shook his leaves, but he still carried the burden. For you and me, we was too weak, so he showed the force. As he picked up the two and he walked through the forest. So he lifted them up, separated my yin. Then the mark came, so Yahushua shot up the waters. Lifted the people the waters, then the two is the reed. Shout out to the axe head flowing into my yin. That's to the root of the op. He killing our rivals, he gave us his breath. I call it revival. I'm lifting the standard like I'm holding the title. Cause I'm working with Yahushua, I don't stand with the idol for real. To my yin, girl, you looking at a one drop. With the heart that's gon' flow to the mountaintop. Cause I can't stop, won't stop, not till the day I see ya. I do for the life that was granted. He broke up this follow ground under bar of the planet. I used to be a sinner, but I'm no longer branded. Cause I'm walking upright, you can see that I'm standing. To my yin, girl, you looking at a one drop. With the heart that's gon' flow to the mountaintop. Cause I can't stop, won't stop, not till the day I see ya. I do for the life that was granted. He broke up this follow ground under bar of the planet. I used to be a sinner, but I'm no longer branded. Cause I'm walking upright, you can see that I'm standing.
No more branding, cause I'm standing. Time to lie you who I Elohim.
Man, playing that
charged up cause I'm connected to the powerhouse. A cage lion in your who about to let me out. Rampage and disaster follows. You think cuff when my hand squeeze it leaves your body hollow. Yeah. Keep your ear, I'ma take off your neck. Start trekking down your generation, on your children and next. Each shit my word and no, I ain't dealing out threats. I know these niggas can't be cutting the way they hitting the deck. Said he not, I bought that life, and he talking cash money with my mouth right checks too. You mind cashing them for me? It's a car wreck, and these crackers the dummies. Your who was talking, cause them bastards took your Jerusalem from me. That's your who was Rafley, and these sinners are spite. They must be booking with Delta from the way they take flight. I'ma say it like Martin, I'ma be alright, cause I'ma shine like an aura when he come in at night. Like, oh yeah, young boy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, what we talking about? Boys over names.
Now me working on that board, plus he nice with the penmanship. Speaking of mic, but I don't think they listening. Nodding off, I think these bastards are bored. I better stack the lobbing up when they get hit with the sword. They say, listen to his lyrics, man, he's talking possessed. But when your blood hit the altar, they gon' say that you're blessed. Don't got a mind to be saved, little homie, don't stress. Story time is over with, you can now take your rest. For my peeps that standing tall, man, your hua is legendary. Coming with rap, and you know that is very scary. Vapors of smoke, yes, our lives are only temporary. Can't stay awake, then get the blank about the sanctuary. Straight like a razor, yo, it's time to line up. You can see how things are going, that our time's almost up. He's coming with clouds, so I keep my eyes up. He planted us in Atlanta, it's time to rise up. Listen, forget the Falcons, I'ma shoot him a bird. America can kiss my cheeks while I shoot him a turd. At 2 or 3 witnesses, I'ma shoot him a third. The 4/5 will teach him how they can learn on the curb. Like, oh yeah, AC, nigga.
Oh, it's like that. It's like that, nigga. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I apologize. Hey, that's right. You can't stay away. Get the blank about the sanctuary, nigga. Bars over names. Bars over names. We had AC spitting that heat for the niggas. Yeah. Look, tell him.
Everything is you.
You're my everything.
And
everything is you.
Everything is you. Now you are everything.
And everything.
Everything is you.
You're my
You
everything.
are everything.
Cause everything.
Yeah.
Fellow on the beat.
Yeah, you are everything, and everything is you. Yeah, you are everything, and everything is you. Yeah, you are everything, and everything is you. Yeah, you are everything, you're my own.
Yo, Big Cookie, would you believe if I told you that y'all's my everything? The one that make the sun shine and cause the clouds to rain. The one that brightens the darkness and take away the pain. In a whole world full of crazy, just glad you keep me sane. Or maybe insane, ain't got no common sense. Come and meet and share by me, it's my Jehovah. At any moment he could take it away. So on this road I meditate for Lord and keep it this way. I remember back in the day when I used to cry loud, wondered if I tried to confess, would you even hear me out? Have I done too much to go against your will? That when I try to turn to get it right, you say be filthy still. I know you're the way, the truth, and the light. You gave me yours to give me mine, so I gotta live right. These more than just words and just a song to sing. This is my confession and profession, you're my everything.
You are everything, and everything is you.
You're my everything.
Yeah, you are everything,
Cause everything.
and everything is you.
You're my everything.
Yeah, you are everything,
Everything.
and everything is you. Yeah, you are everything, you're my own.
Look.
Yeah, who would be my all? That's my everything. Gave me a shot, like when Beretta's bang. My eyes on the mouth, cool, fixed with steady aim. It always been my goal to save my soul, that never changed. I rep the gang, yeah, who the click? Now who you with? The winning team, coached by Allahim, I'll be a fool to quit. Who you know died for the bride on the crucifix? Stuck to his role like a movie script, the kid the beam. Now that the word got me living clean. Yahuwah intent the killers, but Yahushua he intervened. My wife thought it was a bit extreme. My old dog couldn't understand. Guess I'm just a different breed, but no credit under me. That's just a mighty loan. And he coming back to get interest before my life is gone. I make a point to give Tahalim on the microphone. Sweet savor sacrifice that smell like a nice cologne.
You are everything, and everything is you. Yeah, you are everything, and everything is you. Yeah, you are everything. You're my everything. And everything is you. And everything is you. Yeah, you are everything. You're my everything. Yeah, you're my everything. Yahuwah Elohim, that's my everything. Yahuwah Elohim, everything is you. Yahuwah Elohim, that's my everything. Yahuwah Elohim, everything is you.
Drop that heat, Tim. Come on. Yeah. YG, we back. This is how we roll.
This is how we roll.
This is how we roll.
This is how we roll. This is how we roll. Stand 10 toes down, never fold. We don't fold. Only here for the saving of our souls. This is how we roll. This is how we roll. This is how we roll. Ask for your help, now I get it on our own. Navigation set and our destination home. This is how we roll. This is how we roll. This is how we roll.
They desire to get the sheep in these city streets. Rather see you slack and get caught, lady, you getting fleeced. Wolves on the hunt, they got Yahusha. Tend to me, we became the meal and yes, it was a centipede. I paint the picture you call, I'm making it clear. Then it was on the two, they was straight naked, they said. Only way this can happen, they knew it was made of snare. Like opposite things, Dawood already said it well. 69th division of Thailand, it was written. By the Mark Paraguay, Nabeem, yeah, he pinned it. Shaul came to confirm, gotta be second witness. No excuse for the world when Allah, he came to finish here. Look, every eye gonna see him and I believe him. They stuck, he been seen it in 99 to the humans eternal fire. They praying, they believe in drive by on the cloud. We might have screaming, this is how we roll.
Stand 10 toes down, never fold. We don't fold. Only here for the saving of our souls. This is how we roll. This is how we roll. This is how we roll. Ask for your help, now get it on our own. Navigation set and our destination home. This is how we roll. This is how we roll. This is how we roll.
Sleepy niggas go and take y'all nap. Main ones who be saying it don't take all that. Who the same ones hating they be fake all crap. Because Yahusha gave his life and he ain't draw back. That's how we roll. Every decision about his soul. But the world don't give a them niggas out of control. But me, I go consider get with them out of the scroll. Don't wanna burn when I get up, you kick them out of this fall. This is my sight, is limited. Hard to see like driving at night, out of that getting wet. But I got a picture who make it play. I'm thinking fix, easy to follow and read. That's good in the ship. If you never get that coming serving that land, what it be? Turn no Kai, I won't burn in the end. Like catch me on 20, I'm starting with a band. But and this ain't the only thing I'll be covering the sin. This is how we roll. Stand 10 toes down, never fold. We don't fold. Only here for the saving of our souls. This is how we roll. This is how we roll. This is how we roll. Ask for your help, now I get it on our own. Navigation set and our destination home. This is how we roll. This is how we roll. This is how we roll. Stand 10 toes down, never fold. We don't fold. Here for the saving of our souls. So this is how we roll. This is how we roll. This is how we roll. Ask for your help, now get it on our own. Navigation set and our destination home. This is how we roll. This is how we roll. These ride and the steps where I come for that. Think of form to the word, ain't no time for that. But I'ma stand firm on this word and won't turn. Why these niggas go like some paper bag? Music scene was getting cold, that's why I grabbed heater. Set the table with a beat, now it's time to eat up. That the bar till I'm full and I regurgitate the same thing you did to your mouth. That's an aftertaste. I'm sitting my sleep, but you don't get it. I
exercise while I move now. Survival of the fittest. And this particular blood is helping me grow. I got the sun and the water of stone. If he draw me with his oil, then I know it's all for a burial. So you don't touch it, the none is the weeds burial. I just want a life of a calm so I can see your face in peace when he finally comes. How we walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I should feel no evil cause I know you who was my help. Guide my steps, keep right, won't turn left. On this road that I'm on till I'm laid to rest. As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I should feel no evil cause I know you who is my help. Guide my steps, keep right, won't turn left. On this road that I'm on till I'm look, who is my shepherd? Turn my nabah shoulder into his hand like I do an interception. Towards Shamayim, look to him for direction, but while I'm on his earth, still maneuver with a woman, keep a strap on the side. Coming from Yahuwah like the staff and the rod. And I don't wanna shoot you cause I'd rather think above all the actions of my life. Bring flashes of my life in the shadow while I ride as I travel with this ride. The path is deep, all I hear take the wheel up in the passenger seat. Used to be one of them boys who wanted to run with wolves until I see y'all was only passion and sheep. Now my whole outlook is different, like a nigga fresh home when he out from prison. To work on, I'm sure if I look with all about his business, roll forever in his house, so with it. As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I should fear no evil cause I know you. Guide my steps, keep right, won't turn left. On this road that I'm on till I'm laid to rest. As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I should fear no evil cause I know you. Guide my steps, keep right, won't turn left. On this road that I'm on till I'm laid to rest. As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I should fear no evil cause I know you. Guide my steps, keep right, won't turn left. On this road that I'm on till I'm laid to rest. Stand 10 toes down, never fall. We don't fall. Only here for the saving of our souls. This is how we roll. This is how we roll. This is how we roll. Ask for your help, now get it on our road. Navigation set and our destination home. This is how we roll. 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 Stand 10 toes down, never fall. We don't fall. Only here for the saving of our soul. This is how we roll. 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 This is how we roll.
Appreciate Mr. Yahuwah for all he's done, and I appreciate all of like the rabbit song, solid. I appreciate that. I'm ready for more correction. Well, it's understand. Appreciate that, Frederick Longton. Everybody else up there too. Appreciate everybody. All right. All right, we're going to get ready to let it sound the Kato Sarah, which they'll call it the trumpet. They'll get ready to sound that when they do. We ask all this here, watch it in. Please stand as we acknowledge what he's going to do when he come back. Isn't that right? When they sound the Kato Sarah, he said the Mut, which is the dead in the Mashiach, going to do what? So all we're doing is put in practice what he told. Isn't that right? We dead in the Mashiach. He said if you didn't be risen with the Mashiach, on way to be risen, you got to be dead. Isn't that right? And we seeking those things which are above. So that's what we let them do. When they sound the Kato Sarah, we ask all those that's able to please stand. Sit down. Yeah, everybody all right? We appreciate Mr. Yahuwah. the existing one for another Yum. If the airport not good enough, we got to put out a little bit more. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate everybody getting on crunk for Mr. Yahuwah. Isn't that right? Definitely worthy. Appreciate it. Appreciate our visitor coming. They said that elder. Said elder. Come on to the front. Come on to the front. It's up this way closer. Yeah. Get honor to whom honor due. Appreciate it. Come out visiting with us. Isn't that right? Yeah. Everybody all right? All right, too, to be alive, ain't it? All right, good to see the Palmers come on home, isn't that right? Good to see them making their way on here, isn't that right? All right, yeah, appreciate everybody. Appreciate Mr. Yahuwah again for everything he's done, you know. I tell you one thing, I appreciate the more I'm learning, the more when I woke up, my mind was still stayed on it. There's a lot of people woke up that morning, their mind will never be the same. Y'all know that? Well, I appreciate that too for everything that Mr. Yahuwah has done and what he's doing and what he's allowing and sparing our Kai, our life, giving us an opportunity to be able to hear the ball and then be able to understand it. That's in itself is a baraka, things people which is, you know, a benefit or a gift. And I appreciate him for being patient with us to allow us to be able to gravitate to that da'ath, to that knowledge, and being able to be translated over into his benin, his children, is definitely in itself is a benefit, you know. So you think about, you know, the bar that comes out of his mouth, out of his paw, the fact that he allows it to be converted over and be given to us to an understanding. A lot of people don't think a lot about it. You know, this is not his language, but the language he speaks, he's able to allow it to be translated over to our understanding. And now we understand that that's what we want him to do for us now, is to translate us back over. Just like if you're using a translator between two people, when they translate what you said, then it's got to be translated back over what you said. So what Elohim has, Deber, spoken, had been translated over till we can understand it, so we can do it. And then when we send up our palau in which we ask, it had to be translated back over again. You ever seen two people, if you've seen the Chinese president and President Biden, they got a translator. So once one of them, Deber, speaks, then the translator takes it and he gives it over to him so he can understand it. So he'll know what course of action to take. And then when Biden speaks, then it goes back over, or vice versa, it goes back over, so you'll know what behavior you need to demonstrate. So when Elohim, which is the powerful, the mighty one, when he's the bird, when he's spoken to us, it had to be translated over. Think of, we're people of a particular habit, which is kataim, sin. So we speak a different language because it goes contrary and goes against. So it has to be translated over to us what's the behavior that he requires. So there's a certain attribute that we're trying to achieve while we're here. I appreciate, again, I want to say again how much I appreciate the message on Layla from Shara Justin. I really appreciate the message. Nothing about what he said about me when I said it. I appreciate it, and I told him it's just clear, concise, and to the point. Like I said, we're not trying to debate and fight nobody about it. Everybody in the world, you're free to believe whatever you want to believe. My old time, or your age, younger age, you had that kind of time where you can, let's fight it out. Let's fight it and see who's right. Let's fight it. I don't have that time. The bar always gonna be right. And if a man or a woman has a law, a heart that where they'll receive it, then they'll take it. That's it. You just got a law set on, I just gotta fight everybody, you'll never win. You'll just waste time. At the end of the day, we're trying to get this behavior where we can practice it so it can be recognized. Just like the language had to be translated over to us because we lost it. We lost a communication. He stopped hearing us, which means I don't acknowledge you anymore. From behavior, I don't acknowledge your speech. I don't acknowledge your character, your ideals, until you acknowledge me. And now we're coming back into acknowledging him. So there's a lot of things we have to put away, you know, to be able to hear it first, so then we can make the transformation. You know what I'm saying? You can't do it if you don't understand it. You can't do it if you don't know it. It was important for us to know him, to understand what he was trying to get from us, to try to recover people and get them back to a stability. We became unstable. We became unstable. He told him, Reuben, when Jacob, who they called Jacob, when he started to get a baraka to all his business, he said, Reuben, he said, you're my firstborn, which is the Rosh Ben. You're my first son. He let him know, son, you're unstable as mine. Isn't that right? He let him know, listen, and let him know you're a dishonor and a shame. I don't ever want him to look down on me and have that type of conversation. So we're trying to convert and become. Y'all got what I'm saying? We're trying to leave from a status quo and come to a status that he's established, that he'll recognize. And that comes with a lot of changing. That comes with a lot of things you have to look at that you have to get rid of. And it comes down to a lot of humbling. It does. It comes to a lot of humbling. If you don't have your, but I tell you, interesting. Something to look at too. Well, that is. I appreciate it. Interesting. We'll see how they go. How about that? But everybody all right though? Yes, to be alive. Yes, and as we are approaching up on Ukak Shabuah, they'll call it Pentecost. We'll call on, this is Kais, which is the summer fruits, which is the first fruits. And we're getting ready to celebrate them on tomorrow, Yahuwah C. willing. We're looking to celebrate him, in there, right? And that's what we're looking for Yahushua to come back for. You know, we learned Yahushua, we learned that he was Ukak Shabuah, he the first fruit. Afterward, which that means after that, we only got one more gathering after that. That's the end gathering. Isn't that right? So-called. If he's Kayitz, he's the first fruit. After that, those that are here, you only gathering one more time. So that's going to make us so-called. That's when he's going to gather everything into his barn. That's what we did. See, everything that he gave us, you can't understand it and have a practical understanding of it unless you understand the dynamics of how we operated with him. The behavior and everything he gave us, it was things we did ordinarily every day. So it wasn't something that said, we had things that we could configure based off of things we did every day. And your everyday dealings and doings, you are already doing it. So now we coming back in and looking at, we lost something. Unashamed, mankind, Adam, he lost his first estate. And how do we lose it? Sin. Appreciate exactly right. And how do you know that? Because what? That's true. It's written. Adam did it. We'd have been named Adam. Isn't that right? We lost our first estate. So we're trying to recover and trying to regain ourselves. And I appreciate Yahuwah for understanding. Some people feel like they had, we're looking to regain. But for some of us, it's the gain. To other goyim, it's a gain for them to get it. For us, it's the regain. Who the better? We both trying to obtain. What I'm trying to fight you for, if I'm trying to gain, you're trying to regain. We both doing the same thing. Ain't that right? We both doing the same thing. We just trying to obtain. And I tell y'all this, and this is honest as it is. Get your mind out the fight of Christianity. Get your mind out the fight of Jehovah's Witness. Get your mind out the fight of Islam. Get your mind out the fight of those. Man, we in for the fight of our life. That's what we find. We find for the fight of our life. Listen, mankind came in and put all these division among us. Nobody just picked it. Nobody would ordinarily just pick up something wrong. Just the natural state. Man, you know, even Yahushua told us when Shaul wrote, who they call Paul. Paul told us about a man how he cared for his wife. And you know what he put the state to? He said, no man ain't never hated his own flesh. Right. They said, I know some people hate their flesh, so that's some out of the ordinary. So he said, no man will ever hate his own flesh. He said, but he'll nourish and cherish it. He said, just like Yahushua would do it the other. So that tells you where they got man mind at now. It look like there's a lot of people hate themselves. Ordinarily, they wouldn't. It's because of information. The only thing to get a man that sat down to change and convert is information. It has to be understood. It had to be given to a man to where he can grasp the concepts of it, and a man can understand, he can see himself doing it. We had a good conversation last night. Layla, I agree. Had a conversation I was talking with them about on just the operations of Elohim, how things work and how he allowed things to happen. How many of y'all are messed up? I'm talking about messed up bad. I'm talking about after hearing the word. Okay, that's a difference. The reason why I say it's a difference, when we first got conviction, got the unction, you know, just the right of anointing, the drive, to even turn, to consider. It was to get away from our wrongs. And we were coming, like he was talking similar, I think, he was talking about, you know, how when we serve Jesus under, you know, the name and under those, you know, characteristic ideas, we came in with a drive to try to clean up what we had done. And we came in feeling that I got to get in and get baptized so I can get it washed away, just wash it all away. And I can be clean so I can be rid of all that stuff. And it gave us a insecurity in a sense, because we thought they had secured us. So it was important that when we came in, we failed. We came short. That we found out you can still get yourself off the path. And then it became an end. Now, when we had that first desire to come, it was desire because I didn't want to die out here. I don't want something to happen to me out here. So I want to get into the ark of safety, as they say. And then when you get here, you realize, maybe I messed up. And at this point, I was better off when I did it out there because I was without the knowledge. But now I've done it with the knowledge. So now I'm in a real fearful state of, I might not be saved. I might be out of this thing. But then with that, it left us with such a debt of the old debt we had. We feel like they say, get back, you wash it all away. That's all, you're a new creature now. You ain't got to worry about that anymore. He paid it all. But now you're looking at, what we're going to do with what you just got now? Yep. And it stuck us at the end of sitting now wondering, I might not be saved. I might be sitting here. This whole thing be a snare to me at the end. And I wind up burning. Can anybody agree with that? That's a good thing. Because you know what you did? Now, you can't leave no room. You ain't got no space. Now it put us on a tight walk. The first walk, it left with a confidence. I can walk and look off. And you know what I'm saying? I can kind of straddle my foot off a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because my old stuff washed away. I'm clean now. Since I've been baptized and I came and changed my life, I'll no longer hold that debt anymore. But now we came in and realized I messed up while I'm in him. What am I going to do with that? Now I got to become real conscientious. I really got to sit down and consider decisions and outcomes of things I made. And now I'm struggling this thing all the way to the end because now I'm keep asking myself, could this be a snare? I could say let go and this be done, I'm done, but I really want to make it in. So I'm being challenged on every end. To give up is I don't want to give up. I want to make it in. And now I look at, I messed up. And this might keep me from making it in. So it put us in such a dynamic in, or change the dynamic where you really have to focal in on making sure I don't mess up again. And it gives us the hunt, gives us what we'll even use hope, inspiration to look at. Now, I got to do everything I can do to try to cover this up. You know, it's kind of like we talked about when I was telling about this police officer. They were telling about who was having sex with the prostitutes, and then he supposedly was told that the videos had picked him up, and then he burned the building up because he was trying to cover every end. That's kind of what we got to do. We're trying to cover up every end that could come up at the end in the mosh pot and could come up and could condemn us. See, what he did naturally, what we got to do ruachni spiritually. Anything that could come up, that could hinder, that could hold us back, we got to get rid of it. Y'all understand that? That's evidence. It come against us. It can come up against you. Anybody know about it? I got to get rid of it. I got to try to do everything I can. I use that to compare to the labor that we have to put in now to make sure I don't ever put myself in. I can't afford another strike. I can't afford another wrong. I can't afford something that could condemn me. And so it puts us in a state that while we look at it and it hurts you and it beats you down and you constantly keep looking at, if I just would have done, you couldn't have done anything different than what happened. Because it came, how else was he going to get us to get to a point where you put no confidence in the flesh? How else? Unless the flesh failed you bad enough. What was going to keep us from putting confidence in the flesh? So what we counted, it's kind of like when, even with Shaul, kind of thinking on him, well, maybe not on that part, but then I could at the end. Even with Yosef, everything that kind of worked against him, and even with Daud, you know, Daud had a Talmud complete, what we call perfect track record with Yahuwah. Up till, what was that? When he had Uriah killed. When Daud was sought by Yahuwah, Daud was keeping sheep. He was keeping sheep. And he chose him over everybody else among it. Out of all of them that was among the sons of Yashi, who they called Jesse, he was the one he chose. And the thing about choosing him, he wasn't even there. Had no idea, no doubt. Maybe, I don't know if he did, just say hypothetically. He could have saw him in there and just say, you know what, I ain't in the race. I gone out here and finished keeping these sheep. The other 7, they in him, they looking and standing and waiting. Every one of them were there. The Ish Elohim done came up. Shamuel, who they call Samuel, come in with a horn of oil, the Mashiach. That's what he was doing. And the other 7 were there, but Daud wasn't there. And everyone he came to, Yahuwah said, that's not him. He said, surely. He said, you looked on him for his stature. I didn't. He said, I don't see as you see, as unashamed see. He said, you look at the outward appearance. I look on the law. Because when you get to the inner part of a man, you can get to the earnestness of it. Exterior people can put up. You hear boss, you're like, they ain't afraid. They're afraid inside, but you can't let your opponent know. So the shell gives you an opportunity to fool and manipulate and deceive people, just like Jacob did. He deceived his father from the exterior. He put on things that were similar to his art to receive the baraka, which is the benefit. So you see what you can do with the outward appearance. You can fool men, but you can't with the heart. And though he didn't choose, when he looked over all these 7, he had to ask Yashin, are these all your benin? He said, I got one more. He keeps sheep. He said, go fetch him. Because we can't sit down and eat till he get him. And when Daud walked in, he said he was ruddy. I mean, he was kind of reddish to the face. A reddish type of tone to his skin. And Yahuwah told him, said, that's him, Mashiach. Now, from that point, you feel like you've been chosen, and now you've gone and you've taken over and you become the ruler over the Shah, over Yehuda. And then you move from there, you become the Malak, which is the emperor over Yasharal. And you brought these 2 together and you rule over. Surely you look at their space in their room. Surely you get comfortable. Because you've been Mashiach by Yahuwah. Things just fall into your hands. And then you have so much confidence in the flesh that you look one day and you linger too long. And what got you, what you saw with your eyes, got you in your law, and it found out your secret part, that you lust, that you had some desire for some things that go contrary to Yahuwah. And he summons her up to look at him. He went further than he should have went. And when he did and realized his mistake, he tried his best to do what the average of us do. You try to cover it up. He summons her husband to come back, bring him back from the battle. And you bring him here, and you get him in, and you feed him, and you get him drunk so he'll go in. And he'll lay with his wife, but his Lord wasn't there. He wouldn't even go into it. He slept right there at the front of his door. And when the Malak summoned him to come back and ask him why when he go in, he looked at Yasharal is out there fighting. He like, I couldn't go into my wife. Now who told us something similar to that to get us to understand about it? In hands? Why he couldn't go in? Oh, got a hand over him. Are we thinking we got the answer? Are you figuring that this answer might be, we got an answer? How many hands he got the right answer? Then let me see them hands. Why you put it down so quick? Y'all thought it was done? All right. How many of y'all going with probably the wrong answer? All right, got 2, 3, let me see, 3, maybe 4. What you got? With what? He beat us out. He got the right answer. He's exactly right. Now you think about when Shaul told us that who they call Paul, he said, no man that warreth the warfare entangle himself with the affairs of this world. We read that. Y'all heard it. But think about it. What was your understanding until I just told you about with Uriah? Why he wouldn't go into he wouldn't go with his Isha, his wife. He looked at, I'm warring a warfare. His mind was still on the battle. He didn't care about her being right there, although he had been fed and had been drinking. He looked at, my Lord is still with Yasharal. We're entangled in a battle. So when we start hearing and we start learning about how you have to separate and you have to, even disembowel from some things, just take some things out from you, unless you understand the relationship, unless you can consider the writings to the real validity of what they're worth, you just basically just read words. It makes perfectly good sense. Why he wouldn't go in? I'm entangled in a warfare. And I can't get myself wrapped up into that. You know, he said the time coming, that they that have issue. So what was his situation when he laid down the poet? He didn't have one. You said, and you know, people can't understand that. That meant he hated her. That meant he wanted her dead. See, people will take that sometimes and say, oh, you don't love me, you don't hate me. No, my first ahab is for him. The first ahab for everybody got to be him. Your affection, your care, your desire had to be him first. But we wouldn't know that, and we couldn't understand that unless we had other comparables, things that we can more or less set it against. You know what I'm saying? Like he told them comparing ruachni things with what? With carnal things? No, with ruachni things. You know, just like your alam kai, eternal life. You got to compare it with alam Sheol. I'm comparing eternal life with eternal burning. Isn't that right? And one outweighs the other one massively. You have to understand those concepts of why you're doing what you're doing. If you don't know, people make you fall from your steadfastness. A lot of people entertain him when he told us in the book of Mashali that if Kataim, sinners entice thee. Based off of what? Why shing? So based off of that, every sinner stupid. Every sinner don't know nothing. See, that's how some people will take it. That don't mean nobody can't tell me nothing. I know people think it because sometimes you can hear things and you can hear something else. You know, the Bible say you ain't supposed to listen to sinners. He never told you that. He just told you when people that are doing wrong try to get you to consent to something wrong. Anybody that try to get, don't just look at those people like that, your own people among you. A lot of times your worst encouragers and influencers are people among you, not a lot of times people out from among us now. See, we fight a different type of warfare. Yasharal was being pulled off by other things a lot of time that were outside of him. Then it became problem with people on the inside of him. According to the 13th chapter, Allah Hadabarim. He told about if there be among you, whether it be the issue, the wife or son, or even that ox, as though he is your own flesh. And he said, let us go and serve Allah out of him. He said, whom you had known. You can say, and that's a lot. Can we agree on some things we had known? It's some stuff we don't know. He said, whom your Abba had known. So now we start researching. There's a lot of stuff I don't know that my dad know. So I go talk to the elder among me, the Zakanin, to see, do you know anything about it? Never heard of it, folks, son. He said, don't consent to it. He said, not only that, don't you conceal them. He said, it could be the shot that lay right in your own bosom. He said, don't you consent to them. But a lot of times, let's just be honest, add people in the bazaar of the flesh. Am I really going to come and put my wife on blast about asking me to go visit somewhere because she could be honest, she could be innocent? Am I really going to take my own son, my Ben, the inheritor of all my goods, and bring him up and let y'all stone him and moot? Come on. That's where we at. A lot of people, I know they said it will, but it's something else you hold. See, the things that some of us will agree on and say, I'll do it, it's something else you won't do. That's when we find out he told you, that's why no ish will be justified before him when it comes to the Torah. Because we all got something we hold near and dear. And we always have to be searched, examined, tested, and tried so you know there's an authenticity in your servitude. Your mouth can say a whole lot of things. Your actions are definitely different. Y'all understand that? I want y'all to. I want us to. I don't want you to. I want us to. That's how we grow together. Y'all got it? See, a lot of times it's been some grow and some don't. The goal is try to bring it up all together. Y'all got it? The goal is to try to bring it all together. Like he said, until we all come into the knowledge, or some of us. So the goal is to bring it all in together. He's not coming back and doing one gathering, doing 2 and 3 and 4 gatherings. He gathering one time. When he come back, everything gonna be ripe. Everything gonna be ready for the harvest. Everything gonna be ready for the picking. It ain't gonna be, well, I gotta come back, this ain't ready yet. No, he come back. See, but when we do so-called, which is considered to be the end of the Shana, the year, because of the fact that's the last time we gather, not calendar-wise. And it's because at that point, Everything that's ready to be taken to be taken. Everything that ain't is left. Even when a husbandman, they call it a farmer, and you would look at husbandman, and although they use the terminology, just a farmer, is the fact because you're putting seed in the ground. And that's what a man does with his wife. He puts seed in the ground. Her womb is similar to the Adamah. Hello? That's what it is. It's similar to the Adamah. Hello? And her body yields her strength all by producing kayits or producing fruit. Hello? So there are a lot of things we start to consider, so we learn, so we look at this. So we should beat the Arats. We should stomp the Arats out. We should not give the Arats her honor, her due. No, we would have to, like you do the wife. Just like the wife. She gives something to you. Why wouldn't you give it back to her? Why wouldn't you give her the necessary tool for her to give you back her strength? I can't just take from the rights and not put something in it. Well, why would I do it with my wife? You see what I'm saying? It's hand in hand. The fact that they told you are a husbandman. What does a husband do? He provides for. And he looked for the wife to do what? To nourish him back. So now we found out we've neglected the Arats. That's why she can't give her strength. Why y'all think we've been sick? Let me ask you something. These diseases, everything you need here to cure these diseases here. Why you keep getting them? Because you left your first love. You left her, and she can't give you back her strength. See, everything was a give and take. That was time we gave the Arats off. Give her some time off. Let her rest. She been going, he said in the 7th, he said, let her rest. Let her rest. But we're so driving to do and to go, we forgot the plan. That's why we look at the BEP, the tent plan, the house plan, the plan, the intended, what was intended for. He didn't leave this to us to just come up on our own. He gave us the plan. He didn't get Adam and 7 to go and say, do whatever. No, he let them know what to do. I want you to rule over, and I want you to subdue. Anything that comes up, I want you to keep it. I want you to till it. There's a certain operation I want you to get. I want you to shim everything here, give it name, all these things. He didn't just operate on his own. He operated under the direction of. Why do we err? Why do we get off? Because we're not under the direction of. What was they fall at? Did I tell you to eat of that? What happened when they did it? Because you left the direction. Stand ye in the ways and do what? If you eat that, you'll surely die. That's the old way. What way that is? Huh? That's the new way. What they should have stuck with? Stick with the old way. And then they were supposed to halak in it. And guess what they were going to find? Shalom. Remember shalom? Health, wealth, prosperity. They was in the gun. They weren't lacking anything. They didn't become sick in the gun. So shalom means more than just shalom. No, I want health, wealth, and prosperity for you. That's what you're saying when you're saying shalom. See, where I always say, hey, what is hay? You know what people used to say? Hay for horses. Y'all remember you say that? You say, hey, they say, hay for horses. You thinking, huh? That's corny. Shalom means different than hay. What is hello? All right, let's go with it saying it just greens somebody. What is it giving them? Shalom gives something. When Yahushua appeared to the 11 after he came up, he said shalom. Health, wealth, and prosperity to him. See, when you understand the vocabulary, you understand the dynamics of what you're doing and what you're entwined with, then you understand what behavior you're supposed to demonstrate. You understand what he intended for you. You know, we think he intended for a struggle, without. It became a punishment because we fell away from. Adam and Korah didn't know about no struggling. They ain't know nothing about no getting sick. They ain't know about getting no Medicaid and trying to get an AARP card. These folk didn't have any consideration. All they knew was, and they operated in the fashion of life as they knew it was Talmud. It was complete. It was perfect. Now we found out you broke that when you turn away, because it's just like us. You don't tend to appreciate things till they gone. You know, ever had a good relationship and lost it? You know, ever had a good job or whatever you lost? You said, man, and you ain't think nothing about it till you lost. You realize Man, I can't never get another job like that for nothing. So, you know, we learned when we lost it with Yahuwah, it's hard to get another one. So when we found out that we could regain this, we're a different person, just like Daoud. After Daoud messed up, I didn't forget what I told you about Daoud, by the way. When Daoud messed up, he was a better man than he was before he fell. Because then he realized, I could put no confidence in the flesh. You know, the book said Daoud never turned for none Yahuwah or marred him, which is command. Never. It's saving that one matter. What would that matter? After he had turned, after the matter, it was before. He said, listen, that matter, after that matter, I ain't turning for nothing else he said. Because I saw the outcome. I saw what it cost me. I saw what it takes to recover. I saw the estate that I was in. But you know what it brought? It brought the purest form of his law about. And Yahuwah saw it, but he'd have never got it from him until he fell. When he saw me, he said, he's a man after my own law. He's a man after my own law. When that man realized he did, you know what that man said? That man said, have mercy on me, according to your loving kindness. He realized, he knew, you got faith. That faith, that's according to all the good stuff I did, the law I kept, the Torah, according to me bringing Yehuda and Yasharal and summing them up under me and putting Yehuda. That's why? No. Nothing about me, according to your loving kindness. You know why we're here? Because of their loving kindness. Ain't a stick of work. Ain't a lick of work was done from us. It was according to loving kindness. That's what make you appreciate when you look at all of the fundamentals that we've been given, we were, you know, and made to believe that if you just keep the law. I mean, that's just it. Keep the law. That's it. Keep the law. Just do what the book say. How many times we were told that? Just do what the book say. You ain't never been told that? Just do what the book say? I have. Just stick with the book. You ain't been told that? Stick with the book. You can't go wrong. Ain't that right? So what book was Yasharal reading when they came out of Mizraim? What other books did they have? And they still with him. So we're going to go just stick with the book. See, the Sefer, the scrolls, the books were given us for a reason. So we can get a knowledge of, a da'at of. But we still need to get to a point, we couldn't understand, think about it. Everything that he gave these people was by promise. But we never understood it because strictly, just like other camps and other people, you know, argue about the law and the keeping of it and how it should be done and kept. And we all strictly for fighting and finding key points where somebody missed. Your tats are the wrong color. It ain't in the right place. Wear your belt. Wear your hat. Wear your shit. We so fighting things and we going, it's just no way to keep all the things. Let me tell you what we found about with the Torah. The Torah put them so much in the point that people were tired of dragging that stuff around. Can you imagine every time we sign for a night, we got to get up in my, hold on, let me tell you what we got to do. We got 600-some thousand people. We got a dog, which is a flock, same thing, a congregation, right? So how long it take, how long, up, let's go everybody. We leaving right now. Where you slept at last night? In a tent. What was in the tent? Everything. Let's go right now. We out. Every time, you talking about every time I got to jump up and I got to carry this stuff? I got to upload this stuff? It don't carry itself. I got to gather the adult and get everything together so we can go. You know how many draggers and people behind? Then you got to carry this thing. You got to shoulder carry this stuff, and you got to put the staffs in it because you can't touch it. You got everything in here. You got the towel. You got all the stuff that's inside. You got manna. You got the rods. You got everything you got to compile and put together. You got the cherubim. You got everything. You got the mercy seat. You got all this stuff got to be got up, and you got to go. And you got to go to this man and say, sit down. Guess what we were looking for? Hands. Tell me, sir. A resting place. Think about it. If they didn't murmur and put it out, where would you be at every time? Every morning you got, listen, when we get through, all right, let's say everybody just break your stuff down. I got to unwrap all this stuff that I wrapped up earlier today. Put this stuff in here and put stakes in the ground. Beat this stuff down, set up. You got to get ready and cook, prepare all this and get it. Then got to get ready to go to sleep. Up, everybody, we get ready to go. You're like, goodness, I need some rest. I am so tired. You can see why he can say, come unto me, all you that labor and heavy laden, and I'll give you rest. Take my burden. And guess what? But guess how he couldn't have told us that when we were carrying the topper. He couldn't have told us that we carried the tent. Because this is your stuff. I'm already carrying your yoke. If I'm following, that means you leading. So I'm already following you. And I see your stuff as a burden. I see it as heavy. So guess how he got me to look at this not being so heavy? No, I'm gonna let you carry your junk. Shoo, get away from me. Get out from my presence. And when we got up under the captivity of our oppressors, I ain't just talking, please don't just take it away to America. Under all of the captivity, and we saw how hard that taskmaster was. When we saw these people were not letting go of the burden, when Mushak came down and told Pharaoh to let us go, and he want to know who was Elohim, that he should even obey him, Shama, meaning when you tell me something, I should see you, it's a difference. He understood that when Mushak told him to let the arm go, his people, his strength, and he said, who is Yahuwah? I need identity, and that I should obey him. He understood, Lee, that you're telling me to do what you said. Who is he that I am going to do what I hear? You didn't understand, Shama, because you can hear and not do. Can you hear me right now? I don't want you to do it. Candy, get up. See? But tell them what you did. See there? That's obedience, right? Palmer getting a check. Whoever getting a check. That's not obedience. Because I told him to get up. He's still sitting. That's 2 checks. Palmer don't know what he did. That way, 1 check for what you did, 2 will be, oh, that's what I did. Even you don't know, you be like, yeah, I had did it. But no. But think about it. I told him to get up. Y'all, Kennedy, get up. Can you tell them what you did, Kennedy? Speak up, they can hear you.
I heard what he said, just didn't do it.
I need to check. That's too much information. Come on, big man. Come on. My brother Jack called. Come on, big man. Come on. And put one for Palmer. Yeah. So now, that's where we've been. We've been hearing, and because we were hearing, we were assuming we were performing. But always what they interlean to, what they intertwine to understand with hearing is the do. That's the only way they underdo it. Hearing was the do. That's why your code, who they call James, said, don't be ye just, because you cannot condemn him for not hearing now. You condemn him for not doing. That's why Pharaoh told him, who is he that I should move when I hear it? You ain't gonna believe it. You be Pharaoh. Because when you told something, you just ain't moving to do it. And it's only because you're in the same state Pharaoh is. Who is it? Who is he that I should acclimate myself, that I should apply myself to do what he told me? That's why it was important to get Pharaoh to understand who he was. Verbs. I'm going to destroy this place. I'm going to rip this place apart. Then you're going to let him go. My actions will make you move. Because think about, why would he, like, if I had a pistol, I said, nigga, get up. What are you going to be saying? What'd you do? Because now he's looking at what can happen, especially when he don't see me shoot Aim Smith. She ain't get up, shoot her for not getting up. When I get to him and say, before I can say, that joke already on the hill. He's like, man, I'm not procrastinating with this. Think about it. To get Pharaoh to respond to the action, the idea he would demonstrate, he needed to see the destruction of. It makes sense on why he come in our life, why I need to destroy stuff, why I need to take things from you, why I need to rip things out or even let people die. So you know who I am. So you'll feel me above anything your basal, your flesh will come against. Because your flesh, man, I'm tired. Your back hurt too, right? I'm just saying, I'm using that too. Right. With all that going, how willing you just to jump up? I'd rather not. Flesh telling him I'd rather not. But when he understands the power, the authority of Elohim, when he get him to feel and he yard him, he can go past the basal. Now, how that worked for us here, let's go from translating back from his back hurting and just being tired. You start looking at what's the probability you're going to keep existing if you don't confirm or you don't go along with what he told you to do. What's going to be the outcome? That's why we got these writings. That's why we got these writings. We use this Beth HaMashiach program, just one of them, and we use it, and it's color-coded for those watching in. So you can take the color, the ka for fur, and here, Asher for what, ever. So we used it, and then you can come down and follow it from the Greek, which is being translated into English as well. So it gives us a different levels of things that we can look at. And the biggest thing for us is getting the understanding. Getting the understanding so we know what behavior is he requiring. We use it based upon how important it is for communication, whether any language. When they went to build the tower in Babel, it only became Babel, and we know Babel is just, I really don't even know what you're saying, because of the miscommunication. Somewhere along the line, they didn't start to miscommunicate when they started to build it. Along the line as it was going. You ain't gonna believe it. Guess when our miscommunication started? At the first? No. It started somewhere along the line where we were going. No doubt the higher they found themselves elevating, the further they got off with language, and it got distant from them. So the communication was so different to where, guess what happened? They just left off from doing it. And you know what happened? How many times people have left here, left their mind because it became a disconnect. It became a miscommunication. Hello? And it made sense with Yahuwah when he came and tried to reconcile. He said, come, he said, let us reason together. Let us come and see. Then he even tried, when it came down to being a mediator is somebody that helps to solve a dispute between two or more parties. A mediator can't solve a dispute with one person. At that point, you're talking to a psychiatrist. This is not your mediator, you're talking to a psychiatrist, okay, or a therapist. So I'm trying to mediate with myself, okay. I need you to be a mediator, I can't get, you need a psychiatrist, okay. Yasharal didn't need a psychiatrist, not yet. They needed a mediator. Somebody that could solve a dispute between two parties. It's just like a marriage or a marriage counselor. Somebody who understands the unity and what we call the sanctity of marriage, rules and things you don't violate and do. That can come in and can hear both parties' side and try to show them where they can come in mutually and work together and can repair. Sometimes people can get so much damage between in a marriage, they can look at it's irreconcilable. You know right? There's no way to fix it and put it back together. And then what he did, we had one of those marriages. Irreconcilable. Why you think he put them out the gun? He didn't even try, did you see he tried to work it out? When he sat down and heard what happened, he didn't even try to work it out. You're thinking, he could say, well, listen, don't do it no more. I let this one slide, okay? But if it ever happen again, it was irreconcilable. Get out. That's it. I don't want nothing else to do with it. That's it. Wash my hands, I'm done. Not coming back. Isn't that right? Took everything that he made the way, there was nowhere to, anybody know where the gun is? They call it a garden today. He fixed it where it's not a place to even come back to. That's how bad we had made the relationship. But then he came back in and he gave us that concede, that favor. That looked like they said he looked past my faults and met all my needs. Hello? That's what favor did for us. It looked past everything we had done, and they came along and reconciled us into one. Isn't that right? Because that's usually when it's a breakup, it's a split. Ain't it right? It said we split. We broke up. And that's what we had. So he came back in one and reconciled all of us back together. In a situation that was irreconcilable. Even the Torah itself, to show you that the Torah at its tube and best can still come up and find defects and faults and leave you out. Because if I take a wife, and I got one, and I look at her and disgust me. Everything I got disgusts me. I'm that pissed with her right now. I don't want nothing else to do with her. I'm going to give her some paperwork today, right now. And that paperwork I give her, she can go and she can marry her somebody else. because I definitely don't want her back. I'm done. That's it. And she go, and once she done married that man and she figure out, I'm going to try to come back. I seen the wrong of what I done. I'm going to try to go and talk to Tony and come back. And I can look at it and I can say, you know what? I did move kind of harsh. I did. I moved fast. And my anger, I was so pissed. I was so mad right then. I was so embarrassed. I was so ashamed. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and let's try to work this out. But the tourist said, ho, stop it, man. Ho, slow down. That's not Turo. Because you don't put that bill in her hand. And you sent her away from your bed, your home. And when you did that, she became another man. After that, she can't come back. And if you take at that point, you defile. And now I moved so fast, I was so mad, I was so pissed. And now I realized, man, that was a good woman. And I can't get her. And Yahuwah looked and told us the book of Jeremiah, who they called Jeremiah. He said, look. He said, that's what they say. Isn't that right? Isn't that right? They tell me I killed my landlord with a claw hammer. That's what folks say. And that Jangle ain't said, a lot of folks say it, though. A lot of folks say it. He said, ain't no just no folks say it. There's a lot of folks saying in it. Kill your landlord with a claw helmet. A lot of folks say it. So in doing that, he looked at it. He said, but I'll take you back. He said, I'll reconcile with you. He tried to get us to see the Torah that everybody was following, which was the direction, the law, instruction. It still has some things that can leave a man in a situation where you can put yourself out that you can't recover. This thing can put you in a situation where you can't, and then he let her come back to look at it. It got bigger than the wife and just the husband thing, because then he come back and said, you know they're talking about you. Because think about it. I put you out of the right. I put you out of the land. That was in my sight. And why you think I put you out of my sight? And when I put you away, it's in your writings. That's the right. That's all a bit of, it's a writing. It's a writ. What a lawyer, attorney, they use a writ. W-R-I-T, a writ. That's legal paperwork. Most of y'all don't know, not right. Writ is different. This is legal. This is legal documentation that you're reading saying, I put you away. I got you from among my face. And don't you understand how important that Yahushua was to us, that he reconciled that situation? And because of the Torah, there was no way we could come back. So there's no way I can look at the Torah as salvation. I look at the Torah as separation. I understand it for Kudash being set aside, but when it comes to my relationship with him, I see the Torah as, woo, you set me apart from him. Because it's beyond my capability. It's beyond my comprehension, my handling, my doing. And the fact that he set up Recon, concede, favor. He said, you ain't going to believe it. I wouldn't intend to say you about that anyway. But in order for you to understand Recon and favor, I put something here and say, you agree to do this right? You agree to keep the law? You agree to do it? Good. Because if you do anything different than what that say, I'm going to kill you. How that make you feel right now? Why pressure? You see that? He got tried, and guess you ain't gonna believe it, right? There is no way you can keep it. Not to a full contract. He told me there is nobody. He said that can be justified by me with it. Now there are groups and movements that will use that to try to use it to their advantage to justify committing kataim, sin. No, not at all. It's definitely established for the keeping of and to doing, but understand I'm saving you because of God. And because you come into the knowledge of realizing this is something at your full best you could never keep in its whole entirety. I was using Khan the whole time. I never told Abraham that I was going to save his seed through the Torah. I told him it's going to be for that same like Amunah, that stability. And that came in through our fall. That came in through us realizing not to lean. So what's going to get us back up? Your shawl, upright. He let us know just the fact he used the terminology lean. We never paid attention. See, in the book of Kahalath, In the 12th chapter, he said that Elohim made each, 7th chapter, a Kahalaf, they call it Ecclesiastes. He said he made each man upright. He said, but man sought out many. He started leaning. Just like they impressed her with in friend, that leaning tower. I'm not impressed with it. It show your error. You ought to straighten it up. You ought to take, and people fly right away. I'm gonna go see the leaning tower. All you gotta do is look in the mirror. Look in the mirror and listen to me teach. You'll see all the leaning you need to see. You ain't gotta fly to front and save all kind of money. Because this the fact though, think about it. That show you what man is his intelligence. He wants to fly and spend money vacation to see a leaning tower when he said he done made you upright. I know probably some of them thinking, oh, I mean, ain't a bit. It's just like going and view stuff. You see your sin. You see your kataim. You see your error. And you should look at, if anything, look at it to get away from it. And to see, just like they leave that tower up, and it's so renowned among people, so are our sins in the sight of Elohim. So are our sins in the sight of Elohim, just like that tower. Isn't that right? It denotes your behavior. It's a reflection of you and the fact you won't take it down. If it's leaning, what is it close to doing? Falling. You know how bad it is, the default? Really, it ain't even bad. That's just how unconscious we are as a nation, as a world. That people don't say, if it's leaning, what is it going to do? You see something leaning in your house, so what you do? Stand it up. Some of you say, oh, get it wide, it's going to fall. But you fly to go see a tower leaning. It's just a matter of time, it got to fall. Why y'all think when they put Yahushua up on the two, he told you how they did him in the 10th chapter of the book of, they did it in the 10th chapter of the book of Yirmiyahu. They told you he fashioned him, that he be upright, that it move not. That was his foundation, even when they built it. He said, thus said Yahuwah, learn not the ways of the Goyim, the nation, for the ways of the nation are void. For they go into the Bamot by the forest and they cut down a tree. They chop it with a what? That's right. And they bring it and they nail it, fasten it with nails that is upright as the who? Palm tree. That it do what? It move not. And they got a leaning tower and they proud of it. He taught you about the ways of the Goyim. So what that told me what I was going to do when it came down to my construction I'm building. I got to fasten it that it move not. See that? Hello? Even you were told to be not moved with wind and doctrine. All which means we got to fasten you so you're moving out. See, we can learn not to go and establish these idols, but he didn't tell you not to look at how to fasten something so it don't move. See, the way they teach you, you discard everything. Pay attention to some things. Isn't that right? Even he told you about these people. He told you about the Rosha, the wicked people. He said they were more wiser than the Benin or in their Tuladab, in their generation. He told how these people work in their craftsmanship. They smarter than you when they come to this stuff. He told you to make you friends of them. So when they can receive you up. See, you got to learn how to navigate, how to do it. A lot of times, group teaching, hate teaching come in, it don't teach you how to learn how to communicate or how to deal with people. See, we learned that even when it came down to Abraham. One man he chose and brought out of his house. The man went to another place. How much do we know about the other people he was around? But the book said he made confederacy with some. Didn't tell about their religion. Didn't tell them they serve Elohim. But he made a confederacy, which was a league with them. And when something happened, when Lut, his nephew, was taken, who went with him? He sent all of the host of Shamayim to fight. And because he learned how to make him friends of the mammon of unrighteousness. So you'll get so headstrong going, I've been guilty of it. And you'll forget, you're going to need somebody. See, a lot of these people have put us out and they've done damage. Because everybody been trying to push to show how right they are. And the righteousness that he's been looking, which is the Sadiq, has always been his. He needs us to demonstrate his Sadiq. But we've been trying to demonstrate our own and the righteousness of our groups. You know what I'm saying? The righteousness of our camps. Our righteousness in our groups ain't got no righteousness. Not in Elohim in his sight, in his appearance. not according to his da'ath, his knowledge. Because when he's looking at us, he's looking for the da'ath of the behavior. And he said, I don't recognize that knowledge. Where did you get that knowledge from? Well, it's something we were just sitting down talking about. We took the coat rack hanger and put in our jacket so it'll sit up like sergeant. And we got a sergeant of arms and all this stuff. He said, I don't recognize the knowledge. When I look at what you're doing, I'm always comparing you with writings. I just don't see where you got it from. Hello? Does that make sense? Okay. All right. Let me talk a little bit. That's how I got the way. That's how they go. So in saying that, we're looking at Romans 15:4. Okay? And we use this for a base or foundation. So I'm trying to do this so we'll be upright, so we can fast and we have a foundation. Okay? Let's see how they work. This is Romans 15:4. Listen.
For whatever Nikatab before.
Nikatab means was written. So what was written before was?
Nikatab, Talamadus.
It was written to show us, to teach us, and to instruct us. Those are the three principal things we look at when we look at Lamed. To show us, to teach us, and instruct us. So if it's showing us, what are we doing? Sighting, appearances. So when we look at the eye, we learn the ability of the eye. The eye has the ability to have appearance. The eye has the ability to give you knowledge of something. Can you see me?
Yes, sir.
I got a mask on and come with a gun. What your eye tell you? Why?
You got a gun.
Right. Is it the eye? Did I tell you that? No. See that? So guess what he just learned? That eye can actually give you knowledge and information without anything. He see a mask, me with a gun headed toward him. That guy come with a gun to hurt me, to kill me, to rob me. I never told you that. How did you come up with that? So that's why it makes sense for him to allow us to see, allow us to hear, and allow us to be instructed in. So that's when we look at being taught of him, the importance of it. That's a little different. We heard taught mean, to tell me things or just show me things. No, I give it to you in a contrast in a way where you can understand, and it helps to create a relationship. Y'all got it? We want to encourage, we want to grow a relationship or create a relationship if there's not one. Y'all got it? Just like a person becoming fond of a person. When two people first come out on a date, they don't say, you my girlfriend. Okay, you my boyfriend. No, this comes over a course of time when you're dealing with people. Your fondness of a person grows. The communication picks up. The visitation picks up. You got what I'm saying? Until you come to sign and say, let's go ahead and let's really go ahead and establish where there's a continuation. Y'all got it with marriage. Well, we come back to the same place. We leave from the same place. We have the same ideas as far as how we work to build to get this to grow, and we begin to multiply this. But that comes over a time, a process. Y'all got it? And these are things we're trying to learn from him and about him, okay? Okay, so let's see what happened after we being taught from what's written.
So that through endurance.
Going through.
And.
Without quitting. A lot of us have gone through, but that's when we quit. And because we didn't know how to properly use what was given us, what was written. What's written. It makes sense why he always would quote, when Yahushua would always quote what's written. It's written. Because he looked at what keeps him from giving up, what keeps you from fainting. Y'all got it? I know it was a Zamar song that we were working on, and a person was kind of losing breath, and I was explaining about it's a technique you have to use to learn how to breathe to keep from giving yourself out. And a lot of times you could do something. It's a technique with how not to quit. If you keep doing something, if you just keep doing it, you'll get better. That's a lie. You keep doing something wrong, you don't get better. You just keep getting it wrong more time until you learn. Y'all agree? I say, you got it wrong. Go back and do it again. Brent, it's wrong again. Go back and do it again. It's wrong. It's because until the information changes, I'm going to continue to do it wrong. So that practice on certain things or just keep doing it, you get better is not a true statement. When you're getting shown how to do a thing a different way, then you can look at getting a different outcome. But for us, the reason why we continue to fail when we in our servitude, because we kept doing it the same way. The same. That's why Yasharal kept failing. What were they doing different? They were getting the law, the Torah. They were giving another leader, a shar, a ruler, put over them as far as not even, I mean, whether the bar, which is what they would call a prophet in the bar, or whether it was a sheriff, minister, whomever, and they continued to fail until they're shown a different way to get a different outcome. So all these people that came before you, everybody came for me, he said, the sheep didn't hear him. He said, everybody came before, he said, they didn't hear him. They didn't hear him. He didn't let them before he came, nobody. He came and gave us such a perfect understanding of how to do this thing. He came and gave us so much knowledge of how to look at a situation, how to really consider oneself. We knew how to condemn, we just didn't know how to condemn ourselves. When they found a woman in active adultery, first thing they start looking at is, hold on, let me look at myself now. I know what I seen her do, but I need to look. What happened? What did they do? Huh? But before they did, though, they looked at themselves, though, said, first I got to make sure I'm right. See, he gave us that. We didn't know that. We just looked at, and you know why they were going to kill a Dave? That's the tour.
Yeah.
See how the law worked? Was it wrong? No, the law wasn't wrong. That's the law. She was caught, witnesses. We seen her doing it. This is right. But look at the people executing it. See, it worked to let me condemn you. It just didn't work to show me. So now guess what we found out about when it come to the Torah? We found out there was some chinks in the armor. A lot of people have gotten killed in battle with armor. Armor designed to cover here. You can put it on the thigh, the knees, and the feet. But there's some other parts you can hit, and the helmet, but the neck open. There's some side parts you can get to and hit some critical parts. People learn how to do that. They learn how to fight. When they fall in armor, there's still some parts open. Your chest is open. They build them where the chest is like this. That's why I want you to hit me. I'm ready for you. I protect this him. But there's some other parts. And that's what he showed us. All we did, we armored up right now. And the bar had to go in and hit to let us know it's quick and powerful. And it'll cut between. Ain't that right? It'll cut between the joint and the marrow and what, huh? And intent. It'll get the intent. It's the intent what it'll do. Isn't that right? And it'll discern the thoughts. And then he let us know neither was there anything that was that was covered up, even his own. He could see it all. You put on all this armor and thinking that folk can't see you, drop your mask. You're like, man, who that is with that mask on? He said, I know who it is. I can see right through your armor. Everything we use to try to felt like we were protecting ourselves so we can, and the only reason why a person will put on no protective gear is because you don't want loss of life or major injury or critical. So why y'all think we got this on? Man, let me tell y'all something. Daniel, let me tell you something. Ooh, Daniel. If I took all that armor off and you could see me, ooh, that'd be too close. So I put my arm on this morning. See, with Adam and Korah, they realized you ain't got to put some clothes on it. Can you imagine putting clothes on the top of armor? Because I don't want to be seen just who I am. See, the word showed Adam and Korah who they was. They couldn't see it until they had ate the ox, which is the fruit from the tree. I'm afraid the tree is the ox. The pari is the fruit. Until they ate the fruit, they didn't realize how foul and how vulnerable they were. Man, he was a big man in that gun. He was a big man. Nobody messed with him. Everybody feared him. Nobody could see their intent. Yahuwah could. And he showed it to him. He could see just how frail he was. Hello? He was kind of like, when they look at who they're going to call Lucifer, I don't know how they came up with Lucifer the devil. Again, it's piss poor teaching. It's Kayal, what is it, Halial. Halial is not, I don't know why, Lucifer is not what these people taught. This was not about no Satan. I don't know how they got our people so messed up. And it put us in error. It was about him. About him being exalted, and he was up, and how he had fallen to the Adamah, to the ground. When you look, they said, and they teach people so wrong. They said, see, the devil want to be over God. It never told you that. He never told. Satan never told you he want to be over Elohim. I don't know where people got that from. See, the devil, it won't be over God. When did you read that? He never, even Jacob, the book of James told you, if you among the there's one Elohim, you do what? He said that Satan also believes, and he trembles. You ain't trembling at something you try to be over. You go boldly in on it. You tremble because of fear. What did Yasharal do when he spoke to us from the heart? Because we want to be over him. We trembled and we stood afar off. And we told him not to speak, divert us, lest we moot. When he cast him down, he told you he know he don't have but a short time. When he told you he wanted to rule over Elohim. He's trying to take as many as he could as he took, like they tell you what they choose a drag. I don't know why they try to tell he lied. Took the tail and took a third part of the cookabeen down with him. He'd go to take down as many as he can with him. But they taught us what they didn't understand. We let people taught us something that didn't even understand. So guess what? The outcome is our stupidity. All these religious name titles. That's what happens when people teach you that don't have an understanding. And he was only looking at, you look at Adam. This man had set himself in the gun. He was over everything. Almost equivalent to how Yahushua is in Shamayim. He's over everything. And he was cast down, or cast out. He was cast down, cast out. And here we are now. We're trying to recover ourselves. We're trying to regain an estate. Y'all with me? Okay. Let's move on. So we know going through without quitting, and which is a conjunction that added word they put through.
The Nakum.
That's the consolation. That's the consolation. Prize. So you'll see sometimes you'll see they will have game shows. And man, you be going so you put that, hey, yeah, no, Peter, no. And you going and your person, you want them to get it. You're like, man, because it's almost like you getting it.
Yeah.
And man, that thing wrong, they don't get it. You're like, and they had to say, no, they said, well, you know what?
Consolation.
We do have something for you. I didn't win that, but I got something. And that's what he looked at. I want to make sure you got something out of it. Kind of like when Ray and Claude got that moonshine and he was going to go, he told him, I want to have some fun. I want you to have some fun. He looked at, I want you to have some too. He looked at, I want to make sure you won. And that's what we found up front right. See, when we got the word and how we got it, we never saw it as us winning. He said, I want you to have something. That's what consolation. So when I'm reading, I'm always with the intent of knowledge of whatever was written before. It was only written to show me, to teach me, to instruct me. So that I won't quit what I'm going through. That says I won't quit. That's why I wouldn't quit. I think in the 23rd chapter, they had to get all our hadabarim, they call Deuteronomy. That means, and these are the words. It's important. You want to say, man, I wonder what words he said. He said, these are the words. He told him when I said that, he said, when you get ready to go out to battle, you see an army more than you. Start to tell these folks, everybody that got a fearful heart, you go back. See, but when you got that Nakum, and you got to understand, you done seen it for yourself, how things work with Elohim, you know what? I can't go back. That's what happened when they came down to the 12 when they were with Yahushua. 72 walked off. 12 said, where shall we go? You got to debar Alam Kai. That's long life. Alam, that's long. Well, they didn't understand, no, what they walking around talking about? Man, one day eternal. All they knew was long. That means when something stayed. When they saw Yahushua, who they called Joshua, when they saw him and they was in battle, what did he make the Shemites do? For a long time. That's how they understood forever. A lot of terminology we use today, forever, they wouldn't have understood it. And I ain't saying it's wrong today. Please don't take it I'm saying the word forever is wrong. It's wrong. It's just how they understood something. Like sometimes you say something, you stand here, you said, what's wrong with you? Man, I feel like I've been studying here a long time. I've been waiting what's a long time? A long time? Because it's so long and you looking at a long, and you said that somebody said, Oh, you've been there a long time. They can tell from your action how you like a long time. Before ask you why you pissed, why you upset, because I've been waiting a long time. That's what they knew, it's a long time. So when they heard long, they knew, that's beyond comprehension. What this man is going to give us in return for our shama, our obedience, and our compliance, man, it's going to be long. Y'all got it? It's going to be long. And I like to look at things sometimes from their perspective, from their objective, so that way I can try to recreate the relationship they had. That based off, see, everything that we're standing on today that we're operating in is based off a relationship that they had that was literal. These people literally heard. He said, listen, he said, you heard that I speak with man. He said, they knew that. Ain't nobody saying, I heard in your word you talk with man. I remember reading how you talk with man. Them folks said, no, I remember, we heard you talk to us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We know that Elohim does talk with Anashim. They knew that, and he Kai. They knew that. So when Yahushua sat there and we lost communication and writing, when Yahushua was in about the 12th chapter, I think of the book of Ukanon, they called John, which is Yahuwah is gracious. When he spoke, they all looked. They said, it thundered. Because you ain't going to believe, it had been so long since he talked with us. They said it thunders. Another one said, no, a Malachi spoke with it, which was a message. They'll call an angel. Nobody knows what an angel is. The Greeks made it up. They gave it to it's Malachi, which is his messenger. They said his messenger spoke with. People started to consider it, and they needed to know that to realize I still exist. I still do the same thing. It was so long a time that people that questioned what happened, questioned it just like we did. That thunder? Y'all ain't gonna believe it. How many times, a lot of y'all didn't grow up in the country. I remember sitting in the country, them folk, listen, when they get the thunder, you know, old folk, they said, Lord talking. And that was amazing. You know, look, I look, you know that part, you look. I'm like, y'all good with that? I heard thunder. Who remember that in the country? Rob, you remember that? Rob was gonna give you a check that time. Good. Country folk remember that? Amazing you to say that. I was a little kid. We be on the front porch. They said, They said, Lord talking. They want it on. They want that TV off. It's time to cut all this stuff out. He was talking. My daddy was old school like that. Listen, that thing started look like little rumble. You said, I look back, cut. Like, man, maybe he hear that one. That thing, maybe he hear that. We watching that TV, trying to look at that TV as long as I can. I said, and look, it come. That thing said, he said, oh, God. I know he's from doing. That thing said, room. He said, cut that TV off. Y'all go to bed. Listen, one TV off, go to bed. It be daytime. Listen, daytime. You got the one man you sitting around. My dad going to bed. Listen, cut it off. They ain't play with that. TV off, go to bed. My friend of mine, they could be right there. Listen, coming for hypothetical. You see them playing. Lightning be striking, light they by. Their parents still letting them play. Why be so mad? You like, man, I need to be out there, man. What? I mean, lightning scout. You're like, why they want my parents? Well, yeah, they knew it was time to stop. Just like those people, listen, that thing still the people. Because people start looking at you, want to make sure that you were conscious. You want to make sure that you was observant so you knew all that he had marked us to do. But today, you can listen to him and do 25, 35 other things. He deserves our uninterrupted attention simply because of all of the attributes and things he's done for us. The opportunity he's given us that none of us in here could ever earn. Can you imagine that? Nothing you could have ever done from your existing birth, from the existing birth of your father, your mother, could have ever given us the opportunity to be here today. You can say, my parent brought me here. No, he favored you. Sometimes what he could do is he could favor a child and put some on the laws of the parent to come, and then after a period of time when the child gets enough stability, he feels the child can stand and find their way. And they just like he kind of do like, let me see, how we got these muhards. He feel like you've been weaned. See, when a child is being breastfed, that child needs a lot of care. You can't leave a breastfed baby. A mother can't leave a breastfed baby. Now you can, but back, you couldn't leave a breastfed and go nowhere for no 2 weeks. A breastfed baby always got to keep eating because milk is constant. Milk not solid, it's constant. They peeing it out, they messing out, and they don't really give you a whole lot to hold you. So when you got a baby to breastfed, it's like you can't leave them. You got to keep them real near and dear. You got to get a child up to where they wean, where you can separate them. See, that's why they had a festival, they had a feast. We had a kagi, which was a festival, a feast, for when they had it for Yasakak, who they called Isaac, because he was weaned and he no longer needed the aid of the mother breast to keep it. That child not able to be where he can get, he be more independent. Isn't that right? Now I get to a point that event I can separate you from. See, he'll sit here and he'll bring you and use you just long enough where he feel like that child weaned. You and him, you can go. Like he told Adam, man, take your wife, y'all can go. That's why everybody had to be real careful about your position. Don't think too much of yourself. Because you always trying to look at, you could just be the vessel used to usher in something. Look at Abraham, daddy. Well, Terah was his father. We have no writings of salvation for his father. We have writings of his father, and his whole mishpachah, his whole family were given over to idolatry. But he separated Abraham. So he was used for a purpose. To use his lineage to bring him through, and he didn't establish a covenant, a berit, with Terah, his father. I established with Abraham. Nahor, who was the father of Lut, who was Abraham's brother, you never found, he died. He moved. I established and I brought Lut out. See, that's why you can't think too much of yourself now. I can use you for a vessel if you don't consider. That's why you got to be considering what you're doing. Because you could just be a vessel used to usher in one. I said, I'll establish my berit with them and not with you. Sometimes you could take things too, as they say, too lightly. So that's why I always try to consider, I ain't doing nothing, I can't be replaced. I ain't doing nothing, I'm the only one. I'm just a vessel being used. And I can easily be you to say, I'll use you to cry something out, to get the attention and draw in, then I'm done with you. And you ain't gonna believe it. Ain't nothing I can do about it. See, people don't consider, you can't think a whole lot into yourself. And all that comes with putting in more humility to where you just consider that this thing is that serious? This thing is that serious that you just have me to cut me off because you have another particular that you're working to use? Look at Pharaoh. What was his benefit of bringing him in? They had a Pharaoh that established a berit with Joseph, who they called Joseph, that everybody in Mizraim gonna have to bow the knee to. Everybody gotta hear him. But then you have a son, and your son have a son, and your son have a son, and your son have a son, and then this son that pop up said, hey man, you know what? It just years and years way back yonder, there was a guy, Joseph. I don't know nothing about him. Yeah, your great-great-great-great-granddaddy. I don't know nothing about him either. I know all these folk need to start being subservient to us. I know that much. They need to bow down. There's too many of them too. I know it's time to start cutting them off, and we need to start opening up these abortion clinics in him. Every time I look around, niggas popping from everywhere. I'm sick of it too. And folk looking at, man, that man a cruel man. That's a hard man, him. And Yahuwah said, I raised him up. You want to know who his father was? Yahuwah was. He said, I raised him up. What that mean if I say I raised you, Dave? He said, I raised him up. He said, I made him. So now we start looking at the people who we hate, white people who rule over. What you gonna do when Yahuwah said, they talking about, you know, white folk, we don't know where they come from, who their parents is. Yahuwah said, I raised them up. That's tight. Because Yahushua became his son because he raised him up. He said, for this call, for this purpose, he said, I raised him up. That's another term now we're using something else, but you don't need to know about that. All right? So now, with that being said, you have to really start to consider the whole operation of this man, how this man works. And it's far above any superiority to understanding intelligence we could ever get. At best, we can get an inkling of enough to where we consider just how massive the knowledge is of this man. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to contain it. We couldn't contain the knowledge of Elohim, not all of it. He gives us enough, saying, this is what you need for, yes, sure, salvation. And you know what you get at people? They get 100 different books. I do a lot of studying, a lot of reading, a lot of research and going. And you know what the book says? You'll be ever learning. You'll never be able to come into their mind. How many books did Abraham read when he got it? What university studies did he do? That man had a beret that all of us have to attach to. Even Yahushua came through that beret. Hello? And the beret, and attached to the beret, he also gave to Daoud, who they call David. He said, because I love him. He's beloved, Daoud. He's beloved. And because I harp the Abba, you ain't gonna believe it. I love the son too. See, these are things, and we start to look at traits that we're learning to pick up and recreate and duplicate. That's why Yasharal, but you know these groups saying, they Yasharal, you want some bread, Sweden? They get some. That's good. What happened? I'll say, all right. Just get her a plate of vegetables. She already got the meat. Anyway, so now, these are things we're starting to look at. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just one of them people. I can't miss like that. But she had that finger down to the bone. I said, oh, she need a vegetable. And Smitty was just there. Hey, Smitty, it's a wrap. Don't worry about it. Get it to Tito bread. But anyway, we start to look at the importance of really trying to recognize where we are and him. Really looking at how we coexist with him. Everything is about coexistence, just like with the Arats. The reason why the Arats won't yield our strength and why the Arats fights and comes against us, because we hadn't yielded back to it what we were supposed to. And then now we look at why Yahuwah hadn't given. See, when you don't work right with Yahuwah, don't nothing work right for you. And he fix it. It gotta be. That's why you getting sick. A lot of times you look at those people, them people fell to sickness and death. Because once you don't yield to me, he look at what's his, then everything gonna work against you. It's like in the country, it's some families you didn't fight. Why, Lee? Why you didn't fight some families? You're gonna be fighting all of them. And you know who will look at? You're gonna fight me and all of the Shamin hosts. You're gonna fight me. Listen, the Ma'im gonna fight you. Listen, the Kadim, the wind gonna fight you. Y'all hear me? Everything, listen, sickness gonna, that's what he told him, listen, I'm gonna put sickness among you. He one of them folks, listen, man, he don't fight fair. It's like, you ain't know one thing, listen, everything fighting against you. You're like, good, ain't nothing working. And that will all to persuade you, you don't want to do that like Pharaoh did. Because all of us can get like Pharaoh. All of us got a little Pharaoh in us. You get to where you gonna test the water. You know, and you don't forget, he did repent. He repented more than one time. You ain't gonna believe it. How many of y'all done repented more than one time? More than 2 times. More than 3 times. You ain't gonna believe it. Pharaoh did too. So now, guess what we start to learn now? Elohim repentance. That work of repentance. See, you don't repent it. The repentance he repented was the repentance of the alarm. Remember, his own people around him kept telling him, they were pressuring him. Look, stupid, we about to die. What's wrong with you? He's okay, all right, I'm going to stop. So it wasn't a repentance of him really thinking about his nafash. It was a repentance to get out of a situation. He told Moses, pray for me. But as soon as Musa left, you ain't going to believe it. Man, I ain't letting nobody go. I ain't no punk. I just told that nigga that, get that nigga out my face. Nigga think I'm weak. You ain't going to believe it. That's me and you. Because we done repented and went right back, haven't we? What, let's say we didn't go to the same thing, but we went to the same accessory with something else. So all we do is we change. I ain't going to go at that. I'll be on this side. So now I can I'm repenting for something different. When you repent for content, he ain't saying you repent for the same thing. But that's where our knowledge was. And then we use Yahushua as, that's why he gave me Yahushua, because he already normal sin, he normal keep sinning until I lead him, but then he wants to make sure we get the knowledge. The information changes. Let's look at something. How about that? So we talked about something came to my mind. We'll look at something right quick. Finish this up. Y'all all right? Yes, I didn't mean to talk to y'all so long. I actually wasn't even going to preach today, believe it or not. I was not. Let's look at something. So we'll figure this out. Patience through consolation of the writings. The Qatar, we might have tikva. They said hope tikva. That's a cord or attachment. Let's see something. All la ha dabarim. They call it Deuteronomy. All la ha dabarim. 4. Let's do one right quick. Get y'all to see something right quick. How about that? Let's see how this go. Then y'all be a judge whether or not, and you can do just like Nakum Yah did. I'll tell y'all what he did later. Okay? I want y'all to be able to do like Nakum Yah at the end. How about that? Okay. This is 4 and 1. Listen.
Now, O Yasharal,
Do what?
Shama to the statutes and to the
Y'all
mashpat.
see that? Shama. What they tell me to do? Kennedy, get up. Kennedy, stop it. Sit down, Kennedy. Kennedy, get up. Tell them what you did, Kennedy. But you what? You do. See, so we learn it. We want to make sure we understand. Because sometimes we hear, oh, Yashra, you know. No. You hear with the intent to do. All these are key critical points. You just don't know it. These are key critical points. Y'all got, just like in defense, they give you key critical points. You teach something good. My assailant coming, come on, hype there. He coming at me. Assailant coming at me. He had a weapon, come on. Shoot at the ground right here by him. Why not? This ain't critical. This won't stop him. What you point at? You supposed to be pointing up here. Why your gun? Yeah. Well, I'm gonna shoot down the ground so I can stop him. So it's not critical. Critical is gonna be head, here. You looking at, one thing you teach people certain points you hit because I'm trying to eliminate the threat. See, we've been trying to eliminate sin. It's right here. Got him. There you go. It got up. Appreciate that. You get that check though for that point of it. But so these are things. That's why I say it's critical. So I want you to think of it that same way. When an attacker is coming, he can agree or disagree. You're being taught how to take. You want to take. Your shot's got to be at critical ends the way you're trying to remember eliminate. I don't think you use so much as kill. You try to get people. You're trying to eliminate. You're trying to give them. I want to get rid of it. I don't want it to be a threat anymore to me. Y'all got it? So the only way to get Kata'in sin to be a threat from you or disarm the threat is the Shama. See, when I don't Shama here with the intent to do, boom, every time. It's killing me every time, and I'm missing. That's what Kata means. It means to miss. Boom, Kennedy dead. Y'all saw I blow their brains out? What happened? He told me to keep the Shabbat. I'm going to keep Wednesday. Boom! I got it. Shabbat. Miss. See, we got that. You missed them all. The mark was supposed to be, I missed them all. That's what Qatar was. You missed them all. You missed. See, when you start to look at things, so now it's about me learning how to aim or say redirect. See, that's what killed it. It's the direction we were going. And the direction we were going, I miss it every time. When I shoot, I do like that. I close. I said, see, I ain't even, see that? I don't even have my, it's certain things people don't realize. People try to shoot like this and do it. Aligning yourself with has a lot to do with how accurate you'll be. So it made sense when he gave us the debar to align yourself with. Y'all got it? He made sure, listen, he said, so what I do when I give you the debar, I keep it so tight. I keep it so narrow to your walk. You know what I'm saying? You have to perfectly align because it don't give you the room. So you have to, it's perfectly, to do it, you have to perfectly align yourself to it. So it keeps you to where you ain't him. So you don't miss. It keeps you, you know what I'm saying? It keeps a man on one where you don't miss. You can align yourself to. And it doesn't give you the room or the option to do something different. Y'all got it? Okay. So now he wants us, old Yasharal,
Shama
to what?
The statutes.
And what else?
The mashpats.
That's the judgments. That's how I rule how things should happen. The statute, I put down things predicated. If I say 35 miles an hour on this street, that's the Torah for us, hypothetically there. So now, my man Cam coming. He coming out there jamming. And then, I'm a superhero to my baby. And you know what I'm saying? He He going 95. We got judgment for that. We got judgment for that. And that judgment come on, that's going to be the penalty because he failed to meet the requirement of the statutes. So that's why he needs you to hear what they intend to do, because you need to know these. So when Cam come down superhero to my baby, 95 and the 35, we need to know what judgment is. Y'all got it? Come on.
Which I limit you to perform.
That I'm going to show you, teach you, and instruct you on to do what?
Perform.
Perform. That's a duty. If you're going to perform, will we make this a verb? Would that be a verb?
Yes, sir.
So these are the actions you're going to take. After I give them to you, the statutes, you know what they are. And once you know what the judgments are, now I'm going to need you to do them. That's why I need you to shama. Because you need to hear with the intent to do what? The statutes, the judgments that I'm going to show you, teach you, and instruct you in so you can perform them. Okay? We'll see how this is going to work out. Let's see. Come on.
So that you may kai and go in and take possession of the arise.
Let me ask you a question. So that I might continue to do what now?
So that you may kai.
No, so that I might continue to do what? So if you're telling me that I might live, what state am I in? Mm-hmm. It's a difference if I say so you might continue. To continue is to stay in a course you're already in. But I didn't use that. Right. I said so that you might live.
That's right.
So you should have been questioning that. Am I in the verge of taking your life? If I tell you, man, give me all your money so you can live. Well, I'm telling that man, you finna die. You finna die. So you need to ask yourself, what state were these people in? Because you didn't say that they might continue. You just said, so that you might live. Are you finna kill me? Am I dead? See, while we think about it, we just went to, now, Yashua, listen to the statute of judgment so that I teach you perform, so you live and going, because we weren't taught to slow down and say, you need to pay attention to what I'm telling you. Listen, because you're listening with the intent. That makes a difference. I can't do something I don't know and don't understand. So you need, listen, I'm telling you the end of the thing. I could have came and told you about live. I'm telling you about this, and I came and told you this so you might live. Some people say, I would have liked to heard that first. But when I caught you down here with it, you said, might live. Hold on. Why are he saying might live? Why did he say might live? Because now I got your attention. I knew you probably weren't paying attention when I told you about listening to and doing, but then I came and told you so that you might live. You should have been thinking, am I going to kill you? Am I planning on killing you? Otherwise. Think about it. How many of y'all, this is the first time you ever read this? How many of y'all done read this a lot of times? Probably more you can count. How many reading it at this rate makes a difference? See, perception, how things given is everything. The way a person give it to you makes a difference. People just think, I just be at home, just read. It's a difference when you read at home. You're not reading with someone to limit you. You're not reading with somebody to break things out to get you to pick up on key components that you'll understand and look at and say, that makes a difference. I didn't realize certain things you said something I didn't even pick up. You said so that I might live. So if it's a might in there, it's a might not. If I said, I might give you $100. That means for sure you got $100. What that mean? It may or may not. So I just told you might live. That's it. That's something you got to consider. Because some can keep you from living. That's how important. So now I got to go back, what was he talking about the reason we got to death? He was talking about you need to know these statutes and these judgments. Y'all got it. You ain't going to believe what happened. You ain't going to believe what happened. Your dad and them ran their mouth. And they said, everything that you say, we'll do it. And that made an agreement. That day, out of fear, your daddy, my daddy, your daddy, and your mama and them made an agreement with him that whatever he say, we were going to do it. And Mushal came along and took hyssop and blood, Dom, and sprinkled the people. And said, everything we use, what he said, what that write in the book, put it on the book. Put on everything. They said, we got to give it to me. Put it on the Carto Serrata. So put on everything. He said, the day you have just been enjoying. The day you have just been enjoying to a rip. You just made an agreement. See, people know how to work. When a man came together with a woman, of course, we know other things that happen. Now, I society teacher, the purpose of a woman being a Beth Ula, which was a virgin, meaning she was ripe for sex, what we call a virgin. Nobody knew that meant. A Beth Ula meant she was ripe for sex, okay? So now you got somebody who's ripe for sex, means she's ready for it, okay? Then once the man thrust in the sickle, that we know now we call the penis, the genital, what you want to call it, then she would produce blood. And that dom that would get on his sickle would enjoin him into that berib. And they said, listen, you just consummated the marriage. So that day when this thing happened, and we said that our fathers, the fathers, and the aims, the mother aim, push you in a direction. That's what a mother supposed to do, put the child in the direction they're supposed to go. And now when all this happened, we had just and sealed ourselves to a berith, a covenant, agreement, that whatever he said to do, we were going to do it. And he gave us a lot of stuff to do, and we ain't done it. Now, the other end of that was, I'll kill you. I'll kill you, every one of you. Every one of y'all don't do it, I'm going to kill you. Everybody don't do it, I'm going to kill you. That's the agreement. See, when Mushak told you, said, behold, he had set before you. What was that? Like Kai, life, and Mut, death. Baraka, for benefit, and all are curse. You had on both ends. So guess when you get the all are? Guess when you get the Baraka? Guess when you get the Kai? Guess when you get the Mut? This ain't hard to figure, huh? So let's see it again. Now, Aho Yasharal. Listen with the intent to do to the what? Statue. This is what I proclaim you need to, how you need to operate. And when it's not done, these are my judgments. This is what I want executed. I want something executed when these aren't kept. This is the deal we made. Are y'all understanding me? Yes, sir. This is the agreement we made. See, that made a difference. I said, hold, bit, man. I'm going to hold off for a minute. Let me get back with you. To be honest, last thing, think about it. I know I screw up. I think I can hold off on that. I don't know if that's moving kind of fast. Tell you how we play a game. Every time I tell you to do something, I said, you can't keep what you do it, I shoot you in the head. You ready to play the game? No. See, I give you an option. How about your daddy had already made the deal? Now keep up. Somebody, you're like, ho, ain't nobody talking to me. No, I need to talk to you. This deal was already made. See, when I made the deal that I told them it was to them and their children, the land, the inheritance, and all the tools, which all the good, then you do not also talk about all the curses. All my indignation, all my wrath. You did know that went along with it, but they made the agreement, and that's what we at. See, it make a difference. It make a difference. So I'm gonna limit you because I'm gonna see it don't make sense because see that's gonna mess you up off the rip to do it and you don't even know what you're doing. So I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna go ahead, and this is the problem when you fail. I know I taught you this. How many times you feel bad when you give a kid a bad grade when you know that's something you went over? You know for a fact you went over this. And you sat here and you got it wrong. How many of you say, man, I sure feel bad? You're like, I know I went over this too. This don't make no darn sense. I know good and well I've been, how many y'all been angry about something? I know I went over this. You ain't gonna believe it. Like my grandbaby Nara tell her, she tell me, she get home, she tell me, I'm pissed. They said, Nara, where you get that from? I'm talking about, Papa said, I said, don't say Papa. Don't say Papa. Please keep me out the clip. I'm glad she done broke now. She tell me in a minute, she be at home, she tell her, I'm pissed. So now Yahuwah is upset and angry with us because he's looking at this is the agreement. I know I went over. I didn't say these the statute judgment. Take them home, figure them out. Read them, sign them, and get them back. I'm gonna teach them to you. So I'm showing you in every way. If I teach it to you and we go over this, you should know it. Because I'm trying to get you to see you couldn't have kept it, even if I gave you the knowledge of it. I got something else I got to do. But let's just follow, okay? Listen, not only so you can live, which is part of shalom, Conjunction and go in.
And take possession of the Arise, which Yahuwah, the all of your abode, is giving you.
See that? And these folks teach you about, don't worry about having nothing, because that ain't important. Just love the Lord. That don't even make common sense when he told these people. Now, see, this should be enough for you. May live. Conjunction. Go in and to take of a rights which
Yahuwah.
the all of your Abba, this is who the Elohim of your father is giving you. We're connecting dots back to realize he never just intended you to, when Adam was living, he could have left him outside the gun. What people meant, he never made him inside the gun. He made him outside the gun. So he had life. That's enough. Why he put the man inside the gun? Because I want you to take possession of it. Because he told him to subdue it. See, you got to pay attention. This ain't new, folks. It make this, that, as long as I'm living, I just thank you, Jesus. Why he just tell him, as long as you live? We could have stopped right here, ain't it? Because most of us living. But no, and I want you to go in and take possession because you understand what I'm instructing you to do. You're going to execute my mashpat, my judgments. And this is going to allow you to live and to possess a place of your own, which I give you, the all of your Abbas, because we're connecting people. We are inheriting something that he gave to the Father, already showing them symbolism of favor, not of works. Even though you're giving the law. Come on, finish this up.
You shall not add to the debar, which I am amar you.
Because always, I'm seeing him do something different. He said, don't add. Don't add to it. And what else?
Nor take away from it.
See that? And don't diminish from it. Don't allow nothing to come away from it. So there are a lot of things that these people looked at and understood. Just like when they made lakam, what they call unleavened bread. Well, masut bread. That's unleavened. You know what they learned about that? Don't do what? That's exactly what they learned. They learned not to add to it. Y'all hear it? And they learned it was a benefit. It became a benefit. They had it because they could have put leaven in it. All they had to do was, what they had to do to have leaven in there? Add. They're going to have to add. They said some things could fester and do on its own, but this had to have something added to it. If I told them how they're going to eat it, then you kept things from getting into it. If it's something fermented on its own, or you added something to it. So now they learned then about not adding, because he gave them that. That's the same thing Yahushua sat down and he gave us. He gave the same thing, and we knew you didn't add anything to it. See, we learned it from a natural state before we learned it from these people trying to take and do it ru'akni spiritual. There's a lot of things you can't obtain any knowledge of anything ru'akni spiritual unless you understand it naturally. And these are the things they learned. They learned not to add. And they learned not to take away. They learned that as well, but they learned this even later after, when we come down to the book of Shaphatim. When they were going to go in and they were going to take the city. What were they supposed to do? Don't take what? They weren't supposed to take it, the cursed thing. And you ain't going to believe it. And the people took it, the cursed thing. The very thing he told them not to do. And it became a fall to them. So these people were very well knowledgeable on not adding and taking away. Because I clearly told them they went and take the city, don't touch any of these things. I made them kudash. I separated them from you. And the people went right in and took it. And they learned the fall of it when they went in to fight. Now you look at sometimes you trying to fight diseases, fight illnesses, fight stupidity, and you wonder why you ain't accomplishing anything because you done took of the accursed thing, the very thing he told you not to do. Don't look for the operation working on Yahuwah to your favor when you're going wrong. Come on, finish this up. Come on.
That you may keep the Amar of Yahuwah, your all, which I Amar you.
See that? By not adding and by not taking away, you'll keep it the same way he gave it to you. Hello? To show you how that works, now, by not adding and not taking away, you can give it to him just like he gave it to you, right? Who told us that? Hands. Go answer. Shaul. That who you got? Who you have? Lawson? The altar? When he stretched forth the hand to the altar? Oh, not lifting up a tool against him. What you had about seeing the hand of him? What that's you? Oh, yeah, bro. Who? Abba Dream? You refrain. Oh, okay. Okay. Guess I got it. He ain't got it. Take away from it. He may keep the commandments of Yahuwah your all, which I command you, not adding to it, which I'm commanding you, nor taking away from it, that you may keep the commandments of your all, which I command you. Come on. Next verse. Was there somewhere at the bottom right now? Did I miss something?
No, sir.
Go ahead.
Your own have seen what Yahuwah has done in Baal Peor.
Pay attention. Why would he tell you about your own to sing? Hands. Why would he tell you your own to sing? Tell them why. They took knowledge of something. What y'all? How many of y'all agree, disagree? Another answer. Y'all want to know why I asked y'all a question? Because I want to know how you think. Let me tell you what you don't do. You don't teach people and leave people their own thinking, because it's easy for you to take something and go a different way. When he told us that we all speak the same thing, so it's important we all read the same thing, understand the same thing, so we all came up with the same mashpot, judgment. When you leave everything to people to decide to consider and people to take their own way, then we're going to come up with a difference. So when we go over it and we read and say, okay, we understand this the same way. We see not by how I'm just giving it, you see it that way. So then the mashpot should be the same way, which is the judgment. Correct? What you got, Kerry? I can't hear you. No, the reason why he told them that was because what y'all start off, you learn that. He told them that he was going to teach them. Remember? All the stuff he told, he said, I'm going to teach you. What did we say teach was? See, listen, so guess what? Your own that they're going to put eyes have. So I've been teaching you the whole time. Go back to this, to Baal Peor. Listen, what Yahuwah has done in Baal Peor. What happened?
Unashamed,
all the men
who fully followed Baal Peor, Yahuwah, your all, has destroyed them from among you.
See, this was a lesson. You said, what in the world? Why all them folk wind up dying? Lord Jesus, I don't know what's going on. Do you know you just said you were stupid? Your own seen it because you took knowledge of it. That's how you are taught, through seeing as well as hearing. So I've been teaching you the whole time. So now you know how mashpot need to be executed. When people turn away from me and follow a different way, because you adding something. That's the only way you could have went a different way. The only reason you had come up to the magic because you took away something. And you didn't know what my mashpot is. Your eyes seen what happened to everybody that did it. Why would I do it? I've been taught. I've seen it. I've heard it. I've been instructed in it. Why would I do it? Listen why. Yahuwah, the existing one. That's what his name means. Yahuwah. Say Yahuwah. You hear the sound? Yahuwah. Sound and vibration. You can't say a name without breath coming out. His word is his breath. If you put your hand, say Yahuwah. That last part of that, it just rings in your hand. That's life. We talked about before, if a person fell out and became unconscious and wasn't breathing, you have the ability to put breath back into the body, which means life in the breath. He said, every word that comes from my mouth is breath. It's life to you. Don't go after nothing different than what I told you. Don't let somebody tell you nothing different than what I told you, because they'll be adding or taking away from it. Come on, 4.
But you who held fast to Yahuwah your all
didn't move. Get what? They were fast. We talked about fasting. Just like upright. See that? That's the only way you could fast. You stayed. You didn't move. The only way not to move, you had to be solid. Mm-hmm. No, so I told you all the time about that big girl. I couldn't move her. She was solid. She laid on that door. I played around big girl, man. I talked, boy. I sure know had that conversation going. I had to get that check. I had to catch that check too, boy. Woo. That girl got tired when that hot boy, she closed that door, lay on that door. She said, clunk, clunk. She said, I'm tired. You come and get my money, leave. I said, what? I was 165 pounds. I said, listen now. I said, come outside. I had to go now. I tried to move that arm. That girl went bud. That girl did that thing, move a little bit like that. I'm grabbing her arm. I said, all right now. I said, all right now. I said, I didn't hit him once. I said, all right now. I said, I really got I got on to that face wasn't changing. I said, all right. I said, all right, I'm tired. Ready back. I said, big girl could kill me. I said, come on. I said, talk to you. Talk to you. I did. I said, whoa, boy, look at him. I got that thing, man. I got off that door. I ain't never been back. I ain't never going back. Amen. That's it, boy. I like Joshua. We was on there in Europe. Ain't never going back to America. I said, ain't never going back in there. So we talking about being fast, holding to. Y'all got it? And that comes through information. That gives you the confidence where people don't move you, okay? To Yahuwah, your all are
Kai, this Yum.
So what were they like? In the fast of their stance. That's why when we start 15-4 Roman, because you need a foundation. You can't build without that. So you're trying to build a relationship, you need a foundation. That's the purpose of why we start. These people here, he told you. So everybody that did what you said, man, they were holding to. No, he said everybody that held to it, you alive. That was evidence. That was proof of whether or not, you need proof to know whether or not you're. He said everybody that holding, he said you're alive. So everybody that was standing probably thought nothing about their life. He said everybody that held to it, said you're alive today. They had to look and say, now I got to start thinking about everybody that's dead because I'm alive. I sure thought they were standing. I just knew they were right. He said, no, everybody that held to it alive this day. He was showing them mosh pot. Yeah. You know, I lost my mother. Everybody that's alive this day is held to it. I lost my twin brother. Everybody that's alive today is who held to it. Now you do the math. And don't keep asking me, can I ask you about my granddaddy, he with him? You can't be that stupid, can you? Everybody, see, he was trying to show them. Everybody, but you who held fast to Yahuwah, your all, saying your all, who all was it first? He was of the Father. See, you hold to the same thing the fathers had. Are alive, every
one of you.
Man, you know what's funny? My cousin died yesterday. I know he was standing. Why my cousin standing today? The one that died yesterday. How he wasn't standing? How you know he wasn't standing? Huh? He'll be alive today, wouldn't he? That's how they was able to see. Everybody not, he said they dead. Everyone, he said, proof to show you whether you were holding. You were alive today, ain't you? I say that's something you wouldn't even think nothing about it. For them it was, ain't it? You think they weren't reconciling, thinking they mind how many folk were dead among them? Not just Bell PR, it's some more folk dead and gone. He said, but every one of y'all that held to it, Yahuwah, your all, because you were the all of your father. I mean, you holding to the same thing your fathers had. You're alive today. So every one of them folk can see that is a form of salvation for them. He keeping me. That's right. Just showing you being kept because you're holding to something. So I'm going to keep you. That's part of the agreement. I'm going to keep you. If you keep the debar, which is to guard it, to protect, how did they come? You're trying to take the word. See? I'm guarding against it. I'm guarding against the word being taken. That's what we got to do every day. I appreciate you. You have to be ready to defend. Y'all got it. You got to be ready to defend. And that's how them folk will hold it. You think his purpose of coming was to get me to move. Whether through conversation or by action. Or by old habits I do. I have to defend against it. And I got to fight against it. I can't allow it to come and get in here. Because I'm trying to stay alive with this man. Come on, show you something. 5.
Sorry. See.
How you see?
I have.
I'm still teaching. He was teaching. Folks told me, if I'm being taught, I need to be sitting out with some books and be writing something. He said, no, just use your eyes. and keep your ears attentive.
That's right.
See, I want you to look. What happened?
I have lumbered you.
You ain't gonna believe it. First I told you I was gonna teach you. He said, if you look, I already taught you. See there? He waited me to teach you. I already taught you. Listen.
I have lumbered you statutes,
And
Mosh Pots.
you know how they knew that? Bell PR.
That's right.
How you know they went wrong unless you knew what was right? You knew what my mosh pot was, my judgment, because I killed every one of them. And everybody that followed at me, everybody that went different than what I told them, they dead and you're alive. And you still need me to teach you? You said I ain't taught you. You still learning. You need to be taught. He said, see, look with your eyes. I already taught you. How I told you everybody lie? When you be looking around, you say everybody lie. You looking around and say, it's all up in the one obeying. Guess how you learn that? With your eyes. He said, you be the judge. Just look. Come on.
I have lumbered you statutes and Mosh Pots, just as Yahuwah, my all.
He ain't just the all of your Abba and all of you. He said, he my all too.
Amar me, that you should do thus in the midst of the Arats where you are entering to possess it there.
Listen.
So keep and do them.
So
keep,
guard, protect them, and
do them.
That's it. I told you, shaman's here with the intent to do. Listen.
For that is your wisdom and your understanding in the of the who shall shama all these statutes and say, surely this great Gui is a wise and understanding
That's tight. That's where we at. Now you need to know something, okay? Typically, we'll grade a man by his wisdom, by his knowledge, his da'ah. Kind of agreed? He grades him by actions. Wisdom is going to be your action, okay? So the word we'll look at should be called, it's two words you're going to look at. You're going to find the root of K-H, let me see, K-H-O-K, M-A-H. You put it in K-H-O-K, M-A-N. Kakma. Kakma. Okay. Skillful, wisdom, wisely, wit. Okay? We're going to look at the root. Let's see what the root is. Should be hakam. You know, this could be an H. The kaf can actually be an H. So some will argue they'll do it the H. Instead of the CK, the k, in the Aleph Beth, we have the kaf, right? Which they'll tell you makes the CH sound. It's more practical that it makes the H sound. Can we see the Aleph Beth chart right quick, please? Listen, the Aleph Beth chart. You guys have to work back there. We appreciate the work y'all do. All up from Cameron and everything they do. So this is the kaf, which is the 10th wall. See, here they said the in some Aleph chart, it'll show it as C-H-A-T, kaf. Here on the chart, it's showing you a double H because it's telling you it's a hawking sound. It's a which makes more sense. C-H don't. C-H is more ch. Am I correct? From an English, but the double H will make sense for the hawking. And if you look at the kaf, if you remove these two lines, what do you have? The letter H. See, they created their lettering system from here. The I. See what I'm saying? They take a lot of formation of things. They took it from your Aleph Beth chart. But so when you're looking at the 10th wall and when you set these things up, so this is why we're gonna look at it, because this is what you're gonna find when you look at the and there was a wall they put up because this was a protection. This is a barrier between me and you. Okay? You ain't gonna believe it. The knowledge that we receive of Elohim barriers, it becomes a barrier for us against other things or a separation. So you start looking at how important it is to get wisdom. Wisdom is going to come through the teaching, through things that's going to be given to you. You got it? So when we start to look at these things, we want to understand how they understood these things, okay? Let's go back and look at what we was looking at. So now, when we're looking at the root of where this come from, in mind, word, or actions, so we're going back to the prime root, to be wise, exceeding, teach wisdom, be, make self wise, show wise, deal, never so wisely, make wiser, okay? This will not bud. So this is the thing we're looking at. So this is what we're looking at when we're looking at the, what is Hakum is kind of how you pronounce that. Trying to do it, not be spitting or throwing up nothing over him. But our words, because of when they're enunciated, like I said, except they give a, see, our language is different than like, because there's so many people say, that's too much, all that, but it's distinction in sound. Y'all got it? So when people are looking at the Hakum, they're looking at the exceeding wisdom. Look at how exceeding, teach wisdom, to make self, show self wise, deal wisely, make wiser. Guess what happened? When we went into other Goyim, you ain't gonna believe it. You might be pretty wise, but I'm wiser. You might have wisdom, I'm exceeding. So we can't say, always say, we took things from other people that had some sense. They had gold, they had Malkuth, kingdoms, empire. They weren't stupid. It's just we were just smarter. And how to show our demonstration of our intelligence was by keeping his Torah. He said, so how would people, look, they were going to watch us and look at the fact that we're not dying. You people are dying. Why don't people not die at an alarming rates? Because we're wiser. Why things are working out for these people? Because we're exceedingly wiser than you. He said it, so this knowledge you got, how are other people going to see it? You were being taught it. Other people are going to be taught it from watching you. They were going to look and see, your numbers not down spiraling like mine. Your numbers are exceeding. Because our wisdom was being demonstrated in our actions, not in our just communication of our speech. That's why these things are important. They were going to watch what we do. And us doing it was going to show them we're smarter than you. We outlive you. That's how it was going to demonstrate. Why he told you, by this shall all men know. If you do what? They were going to know that you were his Talmudim, his taught one, if you had a love one for another. When people watch you, you say, you know what? Y'all must be his Talmudim. Because I see how close y'all are and how abundant y'all are. See, people going to look, because this was your wisdom. This is what we're going to, not how many books you taught, not how many arbitrary words you can recite in definitions. It was going to be by the practicality of you doing what I told you. Because you're going to watch. The people among you are dead because they didn't comply and stay with. I kept you alive because you were. Those people going to look at, man, why are we dying like this? Man, like we dying out. Those people not. What are those people doing different? Your wisdom was going to spiral out to other people, and they're going to want the intelligence. See, people don't look at it the way he look at it. He said you were going to go and sit down and teach other Goyim, right? He told you that? Never told you that. He said people going to learn from, guess what? You learn from watching me kill them people off, Dean. You ain't going to believe it. They're going to learn from watching you and watch me when I kill them all. This is going to be your wisdom and your understanding. So when people ask you, how exactly do you understand that thing? You see me living, don't you? That's how I understand. So you telling me, you believe you got to keep all the Shabbats? You see me living today, don't you? That's my Hakum, and that's my understanding. Y'all got it? That's two. Appreciate Yahuwah. Appreciate Yahuwah. Appreciate Yahuwah. Get ready to take up our offering. I appreciate y'all. Y'all gonna make me think I know what I'm doing. Also, I told y'all I was gonna let y'all see whether or not Nakum Yah made sense. Which part of Nakum Yah y'all think I'm talking about? Hands. Hello? Okay, so y'all didn't know. You read down the 6th chapter, as Nakum Yah had went, they had sent somebody to Nakum Yah. They told him to come, and that somebody was gonna come after, and they want him to come, and they want him to hide himself in the inner chamber, which was the Makdash. And he told them that he had perceived that Elohim had not sent them. Did you perceive that Elohim had not sent me, or that he did? That's all you do. Use your Nakum Yah intelligence. You got to perceive whether or not Elohim had sent me or not. Isn't that right? That comes along with your wisdom and your understanding. I appreciate you, Yahuwah. Appreciate it. We'll get ready. Take it and we get ready so we can eat, enjoy ourselves for tomorrow. We get ready to do come in tomorrow. We're gonna let them we're gonna let the groups tomorrow let loose and do their thing, and we gotta finish up some work I gotta do, and got a meeting. I want to be at the meeting. Hold on. I put mine up now. Somebody trying to say they don't remember that. That's way before y'all time. Man, my daddy played every old gospel song you can hear. Y'all, it's gonna rain. It's gonna rain. I heard that thing so many times. God almighty. Isn't that right? They play that all the time, but he started playing it by Saturday afternoon. Sat back, started listening to gospel late Saturday afternoon. Man, sit in the living room, started singing. I said, man, that man need to shut up. I'm trying to watch TV. Our people always had a form of what we call spirituality. It's just we lack understanding. He would sit back, he would drink, he sat back, that man, he'll just play that gospel, he have it turned up loud, just sitting there. So even though he knew he had done wrong, he tried to look where he could try to connect back to it and try to get it, just couldn't get it. And it caused Elohim, he had Mashiach them for it. See, he'll work, he was an honest man, he worked hard, he really would, he would help anybody. But Elohim look on the log. And that's not enough for him. You know what I'm saying? Some people, everybody honest. A lot of people be honest. Some people just honestly wrong. See, when he Mashiach you, which is anoint you for this or choose you for this, man, that's a more precious thing. And you can't be worried about, don't take my mama, my daddy, take me instead. Now let me burn. Nope, 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 nope. We ain't gonna be able to do that one. Every man gotta stand for himself. Every man, every boy, every girl, everybody got to stand. And it's unfortunate, but you know what? It make you, although things hurt you, and it just show you how you can't attach to things so well. A lot of folks have been pulled away because of other people. No. I said like Shaul, they said, Paul said, I'm persuaded none shall separate me from the heart of Elohim. No height, depth, no life, no things to come or things present shall separate me from the heart of Elohim. You got to be persuaded. If you ain't persuaded, you're going to be persuaded another way. You're going to be persuaded out of him, you're going to be persuaded toward move. Ain't that right? Remember, it ain't but one way with it. You either hot or cold. You either up or down. You either living or you dead. You either right or you wrong. Ain't that right? Either he'll harm you, love you, or he hates you. Don't never ask him, I don't know where I'm at with him. Either he'll harm you or he hates you. Make no mistake, ain't no middle ground with this man. Everything straight down the middle. Isn't that right? And I appreciate that. So don't give me no mind. Cause my mind, I look for every common ground, every escape, every rationality. But when he put it that way, ain't but one or the other one, what you do with it? You ain't got no choice to get right or get wrong. I'm sorry, get right or stay wrong. What else you got? Well, I ain't right or wrong. I'm counter. No, you right or wrong. He don't hate me. And he don't love me. No, he hates you, or either he love you. That's it. He ain't got nothing different. That's why, listen, and you ain't gonna believe it. That's my wisdom, my understanding. And I know who he'll harm, them that'll harm him. And to prove to our harm him, he said, show your wisdom, Smith. I said, what you want me to do? Bake you a cake? Sing you a song? He said, no, keep my stature and my mosh pots. That's all he wanted to do. He said, listen, you'll be a wise GUI. You'll be a wise nation. And you keep what I told you. Did y'all understand that? Yes, sir. That's all called Mr. Yahuwah saw fit. He could have gave us a mind that where nothing makes sense. He can't nothing come together. He gave us a mind hard to understand it. But he saw fit today to visit us and allow us to say, now here's understanding. And I appreciate him for it. Because he sure could have gave me another mind. Mom, put this up on the stage for me, dude. That's my little performer. We're trying to get AJ there. It's going to take him some time. Yeah. Whatever you said. In tongues and another language. They get ready to stand. Give Mr. Yahuwah a hand clap. Good. All right. Okay. Where's your share with our announcement? Oh. Got another dress. Almost like the other dress. Isn't that right?
Everybody's sitting there, and today is Akee Lancaster's birthday.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday, you old geezer. Isn't that right? I'm sorry. How old are you now, 60? 62, okay, woo! Woo, talking about robbing the cradle. Hold on, we'll get ready to put loud now. All right. Appreciate it. Also want to be kind of let a visitor have something to say. Definitely want to, I'm going to get the mic right there for you right here. Go. Definitely out of respect want to do that. How we doing,
peace
sir?
and blessings, family. It's a blessing to be amongst the brethren.
Appreciate
I really believe in the Messiah. Just coming and just fellowshipping and just hearing the word. That's what I want to hear, the word in spirit and truth. So that's what I'm here for, and I received it. And I look forward to visiting it again. I'm Elder Eric. I'm from here from Boom Church, which is Believers in One Messiah, which is headed by Bishop William Brown. We are actually, most of the congregation is visiting in Savannah today at the First African Baptist Church, and I'm just going over the history of how the foundation was laid with, some of the former Hebrews or the original Hebrews. Like, you got the writings on the pews there and everything, so they going in and looking, investigating all of that. So I just happened to be staying back today, and I always wanted to come visit because I always watch Tony Smith online. So it's a blessing to be amongst you, brother. Thank you for the words today. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it for coming out being with us today. That's right. Appreciate it. All right, we're going to get ready, y'all. We turn face toward the Kadim, the east. All right. Kudash Abba, the separated father. We give Hadu, thanks, and the Tudah, the thanksgiving to your Shem, which is your name, for sparing our Kai, our lives. As you said, that they which that held to your Dabarim, your words, that they were Kai, that Yum, which is alive that day. We're not saying because we yet Kai liveth, that we have all stayed with that which you committed to us, but we seek you for reconciliation. We seek you for understanding. We seek you to be an arm, which is a people, before it's alarm too late, which is everlasting. We yakra upon your Shem, which is called upon your name, through Yahushua HaMashiach, which is your salvation, the anointed one, for all that he rendered in his Kai, his life, in his Mut, his death, and his Kum, which is his resurrection, for his Ahab, his affection, for his Dam, his blood that flowed down from Calvary, to blot out all of our Kata'im and Ma'al, which are our sins and transgression, according to the Berith Shabbat, which is the covenant you vowed, to Abraham, Yitzchak, Jacob, the Yahudim, to Yasharal, and their Tuledath, which are their generations, even to us and our Tuledath, which are our generation, and those that are far off, that you would recover us and make us a Gui, which is a nation after your own law, which is after your heart. Create in us a law, which is a mind, that we might understand you, that we might yada, which is know you, that we might receive your da'ath, which is your knowledge. Seal us with the Ruach HaKadosh, which is the spirit of separation. Let your Pani, your face, let it or upon us, which is lightened. Let your Pani, which is your present, encircle and enhedge us all about as a protection. Baraka Jerusalem, the city, the foundation, and the loom, which will bestow a benefit upon it. Baraka, your Shalakim, your sent ones, your Ra'ah, your shepherds, and your Mal'aki, your messengers, that we might debar, which is speak your debar, your words, without faltering, without wavering, that we might be able to have a care for your arm, which is your people. Baraka, the ones we're separated from, out-of-towners, and those that are distant, and be a keeper to them. Those we commit to you in Palau, in which we ask, that asked us to Palau for them, ask for them. Those that support your Dabarim, which are your words, that you will grant them their love's desire, which is their heart's desire according to your will. Continue to be with the Sims family in their hour and time of need, considering ourselves. Baraka, the hearers, which are the store of gift or benefit upon those that listen in, that you will touch their lives, their heart before it's alarm too late, everlasting. Baraka, those in leadership and authority to execute your will. The married, the single, the separated, the sick, the afflicted, those going through the storms of Kai, of life, and those through nature, as we consider ourselves again. Without you, we are nothing. Baraka, those that are bereaved, which will bestow a benefit upon those. Continue to be a baraka, a benefit to Keisha and Carrie and Uncle Ted and Chris and others that seek it, those behind prison walls, those that are in captivity, those in war-stricken country, those going through disease and pestilence, as we Palau, in which we ask that you count us to be able to escape the tribulation which is to come upon the whole alarm, which is the world. Again, without you, we are nothing. Recover those gone astray and taken from us, our benim, our children, and our individual mishpachah, which are our families. Forgive us for any thoughts, ideas, or action we demonstrate that goes contrary to your will. Make us an arm, a people unto your honor and not to dishonor, a people that you will receive into your alarm habitation. We Palau, we've done all we can do on this side, that we can see your pani, your face, and that we can tahalim your shem better, which is praise your name, in the shem of Yahushua, HaMashiach we Palau. Let us all say, Amen. Come home! Come home! I hub you. Come on, children. Come on, chillin'. Okay, hey, sweetie, you look pretty. Come on, give me a kiss. Hey, sweetie. What's going on? I see you. Say excuse me. All right, y'all come on. Y'all get ready. Hey, y'all get over here. Come on, man. Oh, you got your book again. Hold on to him.
I got that bling bling like you.
Oh, I see you. Come on, chillin'. Y'all know I like kids. Come on, get closer. All right, y'all ready? Don't put it. Y'all ready? All right, y'all get ready. Y'all ready? Face that way. Y'all ready? Man, you tripping. We gotta do it. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? 1, 2, 3, hit it. Ra-ah-ah, the little children. Ooh, all the children of the congregation. Ooh, red and yellow, black and white. They are precious in His sight. Ra-ah-ah, the little children of the congregation. Woo! Come home. I'll hug you.